Hello, everyone, and welcome to CMSportsNet's special broadcast of the 2023 Carroll County Varsity Wrestling Championships from Westminster High School. I'm Pat Stoetzer of the Community Media Center, and with me is Michael Duffy, Carroll County Public Schools Supervisor of Athletics. It's exciting to bring you our coverage of this annual event, which started way back in 1967. Michael, it's been a busy few weeks as the postseason wrestling is upon us. How exciting is it during this time of the year with those 3 weekends to go before we really crown state champions? And of course, the first one is the county title.
Pat, it's really exciting. We get to see our students compete for their schools, looking to win that final tournament of the year that has team scoring and really an opportunity to showcase their talents as they lead toward what they hope will be regional and state opportunities and they hope placements.
And it starts right here. Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us again for a second year in a row. And here's what we have on tap for tonight. Individual champions will be crowned in the co-ed and girls brackets with 14 weight classes in each tournament. There will also be co-ed and girls team champions. So before we get started, let's take a look at the standings as we head into the championship finals. First up is the girls' standings, and it's a tight race for the team title between Francis Scott Key, Winters Mill, and Manchester Valley. Michael, you see the Eagles have the edge there, and that does speak to how, we talked about this earlier, how FSK's girls wrestling has grown.
It certainly has, and I think Coach Heisen, Coach Blake, and Coach Blessing have really stressed the importance of growing a girls' wrestling program.
Right.
And you can see what has happened based upon the work they've put in and their students have put in throughout the year.
Absolutely. Let's shift over to the co-ed tournament where South Carroll is going after a second straight team crown. And you see the Cavaliers in the lead. Manchester Valley staying ahead of the field for second place. And then it's a race for third there with Westminster, FSK, Winters Mill, and Century pretty close. But it appears that South Carroll's on their way to a second straight title. And again, we've seen them all year as well on the co-ed side. State dual champions, one dual loss, so it gets a private power. And they're flexing their muscle here again in this tournament.
They really are. They're showing it's very much a statement tournament
Yeah.
as they've tried to make each county tournament lately.
Yep.
It's very much a statement of we're South Carroll and we're in charge here.
The team to beat, yeah.
And they're doing that very well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about to begin with the finals where we'll see 25 individuals win a county title. 3 of the girls' weight classes were already determined earlier today. So before we get to the varsity action that hasn't happened yet, let's take a look at how a trio of girls already won Carroll County championships. At 100 pounds, Manchester Valley's Faith Day went 2-0 in round-robin wrestling to win her second career Carroll County title. Day posted pins over FSK's Ellie Kinlock and Winters Mill's Najee Tate to go 2-0 on the tournament. And Michael, when you've got a lightweight girl, 100 pounds, that can go out there and prove herself again and to repeat as a county title, she went down a weight class, 2 weight classes. That speaks to what Man Valley's been doing in the girls wrestling this year too.
Certainly has. Man Valley's grown their program over the last few years, and Faith has been a big part of that. And you can see the success that she's had, obviously winning her second county title.
Right.
It's great to see.
Yeah, so that's again 2 titles for Faith Day now, 2 county championships for the young Maverick. Man Valley had another county champion at 125 pounds when Bella Canby, who also repeated as a county champion, went 2-0. She pinned Winters Mill's Haley Smith and Westminster's Caroline McCann, like I said, for the 2-0 outing. And that's just some firepower again from Man Valley, Michael, with Day at 100 pounds and a couple weight classes later, you have Canby, who already won one last year. It just really does show what Coach Dave Dodson and his crew have been doing with them. And they were the pioneer of the girls' programs in Carroll, that sort of the model that everyone has been kind of mirroring since then.
I think they certainly are. They've grown it from the very beginning and been very, very successful. Bella had a great tournament again. 2 really strong pins, or 2 strong matches, strong pins. Yep. It helps, I think, a lot of their wrestlers, having wrestled year over year, being able to feed off each other. It really is beneficial for them.
Francis Scott Key crowned a girls champion earlier today. We talked about them just a minute ago. And Emily Arboleta took first at 190 pounds. And again, she went 2-0 on the day in the round robin. 2 pins for the Eagles. She decked Winters Mill's Deb Flores and Lily Almerglass, both from Winters Mill, to win the county title. And that's a Eagles county champion beating the champion from last year at 170 and the runner-up. Bill Heiss and his staff, Davey Blake, Zach Blessing, they've put together a little girls program of their own. It's nice to see a county champion right off the bat for them.
It is. It's great to see how much they've grown their program, and being able to have their first county champion on the girls' side has got to be really exciting for them as well as for Emily.
So yeah, congratulations to those 3, Faith Day, Bella Canby, and Emily Arboleta, the 3 girls that wrestled earlier in the day before the finals. But you know what? It's enough talking, Michael. I think we're at time to go to the championship finals. Then let's get into it. The varsity finals of the 2023 Carroll County Wrestling Tournament from Westminster High School. And I believe we're starting off here at 106.
Correct. We've got Grayson Barnhill in white from South Carroll. He's a 9th grader with a 32-8 record, and he's taking on Lance Chapman of Manchester Valley, who's an 11th grader with a 34-11 record.
And before you could say anything else,
I didn't get too far into it. Grayson Barnhill wins his first county championship and the first one of the day for the South Carroll Cavaliers.
I mean, like we mentioned, South Carroll, we've seen them just time and again this season take on all comers, and top to bottom, their lineup is so stacked. I mean, Lance Chapman had a really good season, and Grayson Barnhill just sort of ended his county season less than 15 seconds in. I mean,
they took him down, took him right to his back, and in 12 seconds, earned his first county title.
Yeah, and just the ability to start so fast like that, Michael. I mean, we've seen South Carroll do that time and time again. It's a great omen to have a freshman like that starting off. So I believe we're heading over to 113 now on the co-ed side. Or are we at 120 here?
Well, we should be at 105 on the girls' side.
Well, we're going to see, checking out a co-ed match here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to go ahead and figure that out in a second. We are going to get to a girls' match, but just mentioning, Grayson Barnhill and the way he was able to hit that so fast. I mean, the ability to have a strong lightweight, and we know we're going to see some guys here coming up here with AJ Rodriguez, Ryland Moose, Gage Owens, state champions before. Is it cool to have that? Not cool. Is it just so shows the program success to have that freshman step right in and kind of match with those guys?
It's really helpful, and he's had a great season overall. Again, as I mentioned, a 32-8 record as a 9th grader, but he's also had a great last couple of weeks, had good matches in the state duels. So he's really been a table setter for the Cavaliers, and it's been a huge help to that team, I think.
And Lance Chapman, let's not deny his really good season here as well. 5-1 during the regular season, 32-11 overall going into the tournament. So it's a really good. We'll see more of him at regionals as well. So, but those were the two guys at 106. Grayson Barnhill is the champ, and now we're going to go back over to the girls, and I believe we're at 105 pounds.
Yes, we have Layla Lagunas from Manchester Valley in the blue with the white stripe. And
sorry.
With a quick takedown.
Yes,
she's taking on Carla Vasquez of Winners Mill.
And wow. So
and yet another quick pin.
2 quick pins there. It's Layla Lagunas. I was going to mention it if we had a second, but I will now. A state runner-up last year.
Yes, she was.
So that quickly, Layla Lagunas adds a second county title. She won it last year at 105 pounds. We mentioned Canby. We mentioned Faith Day. And now we've got Layla Lagunas. That's 3 really, really talented girls right off the bat from Man Valley, and you see 3 county titles out of them.
Absolutely. It's a huge benefit when you have a strong wrestling program on their girls, among their girls program.
Right.
And Layla's been a huge part of that. As you mentioned, she was a county and a regional champ last year and a state runner-up. So I think she probably feels like she has some unfinished business, and she's certainly progressing towards that.
Especially when we were there together, we watched that state final. She had the lead,
yes,
I believe, in the second period maybe, and she had her opponent on her back. Things didn't go her way. The girl was able to turn Layla over. I think that probably has left that sour taste in her mouth, and she wants nothing more than just get back and see if she can do it again and reverse that result at states. But we've still got a couple weekends to go there. So congrats to Layla Lagunas, Manchester Valley. What match is coming up next year on the co-ed side?
We should have 113 pounds.
And yes, we are. And this is how it's going to be Evan Owen against Colton Wasburn. This is how Evan Owen got there. We're going to see a little bit of their matches leading up to the final. So that was Evan Owen from South Carroll, and he's going to be facing Colton Wasmer of Winners Mill.
Yes.
And we see Wasmer coming in here with a win over Mason Carr earlier today in the semifinals. So Wasmer and Evan Owen, brother of Gage Owen of South Carroll's state championship trio.
Evan's a sophomore who's with a 38-4 record. He was 4th in the state last year and was also a county and regional champion.
Okay.
Colton was 3rd this year at the Falcon Invitational. He's a 9th grader with a 25-10 record.
Okay. Evan's in the gold.
Yes, Evan's in the gold with the black stripe, and Colton's in the black singlet. Started to look like he was maybe shooting for a headlock. Nice Okay, quick
no.
takedown by Evan, and then very just as quick an escape.
Yeah,
Looks
almost
like
as
he let
didn't
him go,
really
and
have
then
him down too
took
much.
him right to, and then another takedown to his back.
Yep.
But not enough for criteria, so it was a quick turnout by Wasmer.
So Owen in control here, has the lead in this
He's in control.
match.
He's got his leg in with a crossbody ride, and looks like he's trying to lock up his far side cradle, which is one of his moves. Out, and he gives him another escape.
But that maybe, Michael, just to get them back in the center of the mat, Owen gives the escape up there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Plus, Owen feels very comfortable.
Right.
Evan's very comfortable on his feet. Nice throw by, and he's back.
He definitely wants that cradle.
Again.
He wants to try to get that cradle.
Okay, and another escape, so we should be at 6-3 right now. You see Wasmer going for
Trying
a headlock.
to throw him, yeah.
But can't quite get enough of it, and Owen slips from behind. He's back on top again. My guess is he's going to go for his cradle. Could be wrong, but he goes for his far side cradle. He's got it locked up. He's going to sit through.
If he can
take him right to his back.
Turn him.
That's kind of what Evan likes to do.
Yep. And I think he's got it locked in. Let's see if he can hold the shoulders down. And there it is.
There you go.
So there you go.
So in a minute 34, Evan Owen is a two-time county champ as a sophomore.
I was just going to say, repeated as county champion, Evan Owen. So we mentioned South Carroll in the league going into the championship finals and getting more points there with their first county champion of the day. They had 8 of the top seeds, I think, going into it, and I think almost all of them are still alive in the finals. We'll see as we go along here, but a good start for South Carroll.
Absolutely, and that's the program they've built, and they've certainly done as expected in this tournament. I think they came in, felt they had business to do, and they've treated it very business-like. Just go on, beat the opponent, move on to the next round.
Yeah, it can be a business trip sometimes, right? That's how they want to. That's how they want to try to approach it. All right, we're on back onto the match action there, and let's see what we got up next. Michael's going to gut this out for us today too. By the way, he's not 100%, but he's here for the finals.
All right, here at 110 pounds, we have Bryn Ryan of Manchester Valley. She's a 9th grader with a 12-3 record, and from South Carroll, their lone entry in the girls' side is Isabella Garrity. She's a 10th grader with a 15-8 record.
And we've seen Bella wrestle on the co-ed side too this year, and
yes, we
have some wins. So some momentum and some good vibes for her as she goes into this tournament.
She's taking her down right to her back.
County title, yeah. Already looking for a pin early in this match.
And she's looking. She probably wants to get the hips a little more parallel so that she doesn't get turned, but now she's got her right back on top. There, she's much more perpendicular.
She's trying to end this early in the first period,
pinning
Michael.
Position right now.
Yep.
A little bit high, but that's a good pinning position.
And there it is.
There you go.
Yeah, you were right on top of it. Bella Garrity.
Looks like about 48 seconds. She has won her first county title and the first girls county title in the history of South Carroll High School.
That is pretty cool. And she like Michael said, she's the lone participant, and only 2 girls in her bracket, of course, for the final, so she waits till the final. It's a long day to wait, but she makes the most of it, and congratulations to Bella Garrity. Just to say real quickly, we saw her wrestling, up with South Carroll's state championship lineup. That's got to give her a load of experience and a load of confidence as she goes on to the postseason.
I think so, and she certainly has looked very strong in the matches she's had against other girls, but even in the co-ed matches, she gives up nothing. She really works quite hard throughout the entire match, and the hard work she's put in obviously paid off in her first county championship.
I think co-ed 120 should be up next.
Yes.
And we're going to head back to the mat at Westminster High School, and Michael will tell you who we got. I believe it's a South Carroll and a Francis Scott Key matchup.
It is.
At 120 with, go ahead.
Should be Jojo Gigliotti of South Carroll. He's a 9th grader with a 40-2 record. And last I saw, I believe he's ranked #1 in the state.
Okay.
And he'll be taking on Patrick Mattingly of Francis Scott Key, who's a 10th grader, 27-10 record.
We're going to see how they got there, of course, first from their semifinal matches with Gigliotti and Mattingly wrestling through the bracket. Gigliotti had a bye in their first round, so he didn't. They went to the semifinals there and faced Ryan Hydorn of Man Valley. And it was quick work there too. I think a 30-second pin for JoJo, who we've seen really shine this year in his first year as a varsity wrestler. And then Mattingly took care of Alex Pearl.
Yes.
Finished off a 6-2 decision there with that reversal there late in the third period. And Mattingly advanced to the final for Francis Scott Key. It's going to be a tall order. against Gigliotti, but I think we're going to get to the match now and see the county championship. We're going to head in there where Gigliotti and Mattingly on to the next bout.
There we go. All right. Gigliotti's in the white singlet, and Mattingly is in the blue, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, there
singlet.
you go. Of course, Francis Scott Key.
Absolutely. So JoJo is just really strong on his feet. Nice duck to right into a cradle.
He's so technical, Michael.
He's technical. He's technical. He's fast. He's strong for a 120-pounder. I mean, he's jumped up in weight a few times throughout the season and really shown no wear or tear for that. Again, lets him go, takes right down. I mean, it's machine-like.
That's what you want, right, out of your guys
it really
that are
is,
technical like
and
that.
he has a motor that does not seem to stop.
Correct.
He's got the arm thrown across the back.
We saw, just wanted to jump in, when they wrestled Mount St. Joseph this year, which is a great 1-against-2, whatever you want to call it, private and public. He really shined there too in his first match of that nature. I know he's a 4-time junior league champion or whatever it might be, but wrestling in a private school like that and handling himself very well helped South Carroll take a lead in that match. We could see there this kid's going to be something special, I think, for South Carroll. Yeah, and he's in control here, 4-1 over Mattingly.
He's throwing over a bit of an arm bar, throwing right to his back, and now he's putting himself right in a good pinning position.
Mattingly trying to bridge, but we'll see. You can only do that for so long, right?
Yes, and JoJo's also very strong.
Yeah, there you go.
120 pounds.
Yep.
There you go.
So another first for
his
South
first
Carroll.
county championship, and he wins it in 1 minute and 22 seconds.
A 2-0 effort today. He makes him 41-2, I believe, overall. If Michael's so
that's correct.
Really good start here for South Carroll with 2 county champions in 2 tries, with Evan Owen. On the co-ed side,
3.
Excuse me, you're right.
Grayson Barnhill.
Oh, Barnhill, you're right. So it is 3.
They're 3 for
and
3.
4 if you count Bella Garrity. I was going for the co-ed side, but you're right. 3 for 3 so far.
Yes.
On their way again, like we mentioned earlier too. I believe the team tournament title and a handful of county champions. So I believe we're heading back over to the girls' side, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. We should have 115 pounds. We've got Christina Padilla from Winters Mill. She's a 9th grader with a 5-7 record. Taking on Caroline Cruikshank of Francis Scott Key. She's a senior. I'm well aware that both of them are first-year wrestlers.
Okay.
So it's exciting to see students who just come out for wrestling, both meeting in the county finals.
And again, we mentioned Key, and this is their first sort of full girls season. And Winters Mill has had some girls as well, but their first full, because with Coach John Lowe coming out of retirement, as I like to tell you, it's nice to see a full robust lineup on both of those squads.
Absolutely. All right, both moving around trying to figure out what they're going to do, what works against their opponent.
Cruikshank's got the height advantage here, it looks like.
She certainly does.
Yep. And Padilla, though, just because she's a little bit shorter doesn't mean she can't get around and make something happen. And she might be trying
shot by Cruikshank, and then decent sprawl by Padilla. Cruikshank drives through it, though,
got the leg,
and drives right to her back.
Yep.
And then,
but Padilla may have got away from a potential pin there, but it's going to be some back points there for sure.
She certainly did.
There you go, 4-0 already for Cruikshank.
And now looks like she's working her arm bar on the left side. I'm going to work from there. Padilla's trying to sit through that and get back to a base. And Cruikshank does take her over with it and is in nice pinning position. Drive just a little bit more. Now she might be a little high, but she can get that arm through. She's trying to do with her right arm so she can drive over chest to chest. That's what she's looking to do.
Can Padilla hold off, or will Cruikshank be a champ? Nope. I believe that was a pin for Caroline Cruikshank. And is that history too, Michael?
That is also history. Well, the first one in the bracketed.
Okay.
Because we did have Emily Arboleta.
Oh, correct.
Correct. I believe 170?
190.
190,
no,
excuse
you're
me.
right. Yep. So in terms of an actual final,
yes,
that was our first FSK County Champion.
Correct.
So congratulations to to her.
Caroline Cruikshank with a pin in 129.
Yep. So a lot of first period pins here so far.
Yes.
We're going to see plenty more matches here coming up here in the Varsity Championship. Our special CMSportsNet broadcast of the Varsity Finals. I believe we're going to co-ed 126 next.
That's correct.
And that's Chris Gang from Winters Mill against Braden Vandervoort of Manchester Valley.
Yeah, Chris has missed a part of the season. I think he was out with illness or injury. He's sitting at 23-2 on the year, and he was a state placer last year at 106 pounds. So he's bulked up a little bit. And then Braden is a ninth grader with a 39-5 record for the Mavericks. So it should be a good matchup.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I think one of the things, Chris has only been back recently, so it'll be interesting to see what his conditioning looks like. Missing a lot of time. Obviously, conditioning plays into wrestling. If you've got to wrestle 6 minutes, it really is a lot of work during that time.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see if the match goes that long, how that will play out. But
let's see how they got there, of course, first. Both these guys had semifinal matches. Gang wrestled South Carroll's Connor Patterson, and we'll see that. Also, Liam Armsmeyer of Westminster took on Vandervoort in the semifinals. Gang here first. I think it was pretty quick work of Connor Patterson of South Carroll to get to his final. And like Michael mentioned, he's back from after missing some time. There's the pin there in just under 30 seconds. And we're going to have Vandervoort from Man Valley, almost the same exact thing against Westminster's Liam Armsmeyer. Just both these guys have made pretty quick work of their semifinal matches. Nice cradle there from Vandervoort.
It is a nice cradle.
And I think he was able to just barely get past the 30-second mark of that match, too. So a couple of good moves there for both these youngsters to get into the finals. And it's Chris Gang of Winters Mill, like Michael said, against Braden Vandervoort for the 126-pound final. You mentioned Gang and just coming back from a little bit of a time off. The conditioning is a big thing. We're going to see here in a minute whether he can hold on or not. But Vandervoort might know that. He might not. He might just be out there wrestling. I'm guessing when they wrestled during the season, they didn't see each other, maybe because Gang was out. I can't remember if they wrestled or not.
I don't think they matched up. I'm not going to swear by it, but yes, it should be a great matchup. Vandervoort's wrestling really, really well right now. But so is Chris. I mean, Chris Gang has had a great year.
4-0 in the county.
Missing some time, obviously, plays into it. So, his record still at 23-2 is quite impressive.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this match. 126, see who comes out on top, Gang or Vandervoort, Winters Mill or Manchester Valley.
All right, so we see Gang in the white singlet.
Yes, sir.
And Vandervoort is in, obviously, the blue with the white stripe. Both working their ties.
For Gang, I think, like you said, it's just going to be, he's wrestled one match already. It was a quick one, but he's wrestled one match today, and now he's just trying to see if he has if he needs to, a full 6-minute complement.
Yeah, obviously it's very early, but Gang seems to be the aggressor, taking 2 shots so far. Looking to try and finish. But so far, Vandervoort's countering really, really well with a good sprawl and nice crossface.
Vandervoort was 4-2 during the regular season in county play.
Gang wants to get out of that underhook that he's got.
They were trying to head over to Mat 2, I think, for the. But yeah, it's like you said, still no score and still in neutral position here to start off this match. 27 pins for Vandervoort during the year, so he definitely knows how to end matches.
Certainly.
16 though for Gang out of his 20. Well, going into the tournament, he had 22 wins and 16 of those were by pin, and he had at least one more. He definitely had one today. So.
Correct.
Yep, give him 17 and 23
wins. A little bit of a shot
wins.
from Vandervoort, but a nice counter from Gang. Nice look like he's trying to get a little bit of somewhat of a barrel roll, and Gang pushes him out of bounds.
So still jockeying for that first points, I should say.
Both are playing heavy on each other's heads. Wrestling can be a very brutal sport. You can see that they're definitely not taking light shots at each other. Nothing illegal. Looking like he's going a little bit of a fireman's carry. Fireman's roll, really.
They still do the fireman's carry?
It's a fireman's roll, it's a nice move if you can hit it.
Yeah.
Gang countered it pretty well. Looks like Gang's got a little bit of the height advantage. He's in deep on a shot.
Yep.
He's going to try and come out of it. May get caught. There it is.
Yeah. Is that
it's
a good
called
call?
Potentially dangerous.
Was that a good call? Okay.
Because Vandervoort's kind of in a precarious position. If Gang should fall down, he could land right on his head.
Sure.
Or could drop down and land on his head. So it's a smart move by the official to call that exactly. Okay, and there's his fireman's
roll.
Fireman's roll,
Oh,
straight to, there it is, straight to a cement driver, or head and wing, either or. And now he's got him on his back, although he's out of time.
Time ran out, but that's
But
going to
he did get 3 back points.
He did, so
that's a 5-point move late in the first period. Definitely a huge advantage to Vandervoort.
Gang, the top seed, find themselves down 5-0 here as we start the second period. I think
Looked like Vandervoort won the coin flip and immediately just took down.
Yeah,
a lot of time you'll see people defer.
Yep.
He just wants to be in the down position right away.
He feels that means, Michael, he feels he can get up early, get up quicker, score a point there, and then start working.
Correct.
Working
either
back
he
on
feels that he feels comfortable enough that he's going to either escape or reverse, or sometimes just keep wrestling and not give up points. And almost got a roll through, but Gang countered really well to stay on top. Gang's got a leg in on the left side. Trying to take him to his back. He did get a 1 count, but that's not going to get him any back points. He's going to need at least 2 for that.
Okay.
Gang's got the leg in. Looks like he's trying to potentially. Looks like he's trying to work that arm in, maybe look for a guillotine.
Right, and Gang started on top, so there's no scoring here yet. Still 5-0.
Correct. Now he might be looking a little bit at Cradle. Vandervoort is controlling Gang's left arm, which is making it difficult for him to do much with it. So Gang's going to try and do somewhat of a hook to take him to his back.
Do the wrestlers, does it matter to them? Not matter is the wrong word. Is it a big deal to them that there's 2 officials out there? Does it distract them at all, you think? you coach the sport, obviously.
I think they get used to it after a while.
Okay.
Really, the second one is looking, he's an assistant official. He's looking for things that that the match official might not see. For example, and confirming things. For example, Gang just got called for an illegal headlock. I'm sorry, an illegal full Nelson.
Okay.
There's an illegal move.
Vandervoort's holding his knee a little bit there.
And he is holding his knee. So that is not, actually, I'm not sure that it was a full Nelson. Let me take that back. It was an illegal move.
Okay.
And if he's injured right now, this is not injury time he's taking. This is recovery time.
Okay.
If Vandervoort is unable to finish the match right now, if he is unable to wrestle, he will be declared the winner at this point.
Okay.
It'll be an injury default in his case because it was done in an illegal move.
Right. So he got the point. He got the point for that because of the illegal move
Correct.
by Gang.
Right now, they're trying to evaluate how bad his injury is if he's able to wrestle.
Right.
And my guess is it looks like they're sending him back out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they want to make sure his knee is stable. They don't want to send him out for further injury.
Correct.
So now he's sitting on a 6-0 lead. And Gang's on top again, right to the leg in, really quickly. And Vandervoort, while he's on bottom, is really in command of this match. He's up 6-0.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he needs to, although it looks like, I have to say, he's balling up a little bit, and he's probably on the verge of getting hit for stalling.
Yeah, and also, maybe the knee might not feel that good right now.
Well, you can see the arms kind of balled in.
Yes.
When the arms are balled in, it shows the official you're not making an effort to improve. And what the official's looking for is both men are working to improve. Just as the top guy can't just lay on top and throw a leg in and ride, the bottom guy is not able to just lay on the mat.
Looks like Gang's trying to score, so he wouldn't get called for anything in this particular hold.
Well, Gang has to score.
Right, of course, that's true.
And there you go. Okay, so he did not get a stalling call, but you can see. So it's now Gang's decision, and they tell him to, looks like they want him to go up. Either, it could be a couple reasons. He's almost to the point where he needs a pin, or he doesn't feel as comfortable with either neutral or bottom right now.
I was gonna just add that and ask you that on top, closer to getting the pin if you were able to turn him, but
perhaps
that's the thought process anyway.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Whereas on bottom, you have to get an escape. I mean, if it was a 1-point match, maybe they put him on bottom because a reversal puts him up by 1, or an escape ties it.
Right.
When you're down 6, you kind of need to look at what's it going to take. Where's your best pinning place? Is it from neutral, takedown to there? Although he already lost the takedown. But that doesn't necessarily matter. Could have just been, was not your best shot or best move.
Right.
But whether you feel neutral gives you a best shot to pin, or top gives you the best opportunity to pin. And in this case, they felt it was top. But as I said, you can see Vandervoort is kind of balled up. We'll see how it goes. But, he's looks like for now he's doing just enough to keep the official at bay.
No scoring yet here. We're a minute into the third period.
Vandervoort's got, Braden's got Chris's leg as he's trying to get it in, which is obviously going to make it difficult to score. Oh, he's got a cradle. But he's rolled right through it.
He had a moment.
He lost the grip on it, too.
Yep.
But he had an opportunity there.
He had a moment. Still in the same positions, right?
Correct.
Gang's still
on top. He's got under a minute to go. He's going to need to, he's running out of time if he wants to get that, if he truly wants to get that pin that he needs in order to win the match.
Yeah, and he's going to have to really start working hard because Vandervoort knows he has a 6-0 lead, I assume, and he's going to do whatever he can to keep out of harm's way in terms of the scoring.
Right.
At this point, you can even get called for a stall warning.
You know, I would say it's smart wrestling.
Yeah.
He's trying to win. He's trying to win his county championship. There's the stall call. Actually, that is the second one. I missed it in an earlier one.
Okay.
And that's now 1 point, which makes it 6-1. It's a 5-point match.
Time running out though here.
Gang's going for that cradle again.
Yeah. Got to try all the stops now.
Now he's coming out front.
Left.
Maybe he can try and throw him to his back. But he looks like he's just running out of time and doesn't have it. And Vandervoort gets away just as time expires, and there's your 7-1.
Yep.
So that's his first county championship. Congratulations to Braden Vandervoort. Some more points again for Manchester Valley as they try and solidify themselves, keep them solidly in second place.
Vandervoort controlled the match. And they didn't score in the first period, but Vandervoort, once the second period, he scored late in the first period.
Yeah, he scored 5 in the first period, and then stayed on bottom for almost the next 4 minutes. Did enough, gave up 1 point on 2 stalling calls, but really wrestled a smart match. Took advantage of the 5-point lead he had and went from there. So
congrats to Braden.
Absolutely.
Yep. And now we're going to head back to the girls' bracket where we're going to see the 120-pound final. Summer Shackelford from Man Valley and Ava Rupp from FSK. Before we get to that, we're going to see how they did to get there. And it was a pin for Summer Shackelford in the semifinals against Jayla Shropshire of Winters Mill. Meanwhile, Ava Rupp from Man Valley, a dominant win over Molly Holm, a 15-1 major decision. Just going back and looking at some of the brackets, you don't see too many majors of that variety.
No, you don't.
In the county finals, or in the tournament anyway. But here we go with Ava Rupp of FSK going up against Summer Shackelford, who is trying for her second straight Carroll County Championship, 120 pounds.
Ava's a 10th grader from Francis Scott Key. She's got a 9-2 record and was a runner-up at the Winters Mill Falcon Invite. Summer's a 4th-year wrestler. She's a senior with a 10-2 record, and she did place 4th at the state tournament last year.
And won a county title last year
And did win a county title and was runner-up at the region.
And a veteran with some experience, and she's been wrestling for a couple years now. So let's get back out to the mat. 120-pound final on the girls' side, Shackelford and Rupp. How these 2 days been so far, Michael, over there at Westminster High School with the tournament?
It's just a great venue for holding a competition like this. Able to have the fans up top and the students and the teams down below. It really makes it a lot better. It really works well for us.
It's cool. It's cool theater. It has that theater vibe when everybody's watching from down below. Kind of like state duels at North Point.
Very much so. And it's also nice to have. It's nice to have the feed so that people can watch the matches who may not be able to get to it. So that's a huge benefit of it as well. All right, so both are working a tie.
Not sure if they wrestled each other during the season, but I just know if you're anybody wrestling Shackelford, she is one of Man Valley's longtime stars here on the girls' side with a couple county titles and a lot of success in her career.
Yes, she is. So
she's going to be tough to beat here.
Yep. All right. Both still trying to fill out the other with the tie. Still no shots. I think the officials saying, looks like Rupp's headgear may have come loose, or he just said, let's just get back to it.
And they call that a stalemate, and that's basically just up to the official's discretion. Hey, nothing's happening here. Let's reset. Is that the mindset?
The idea of a stalemate, which you rarely see from a neutral position like standing, is that neither person is able to improve their position.
Okay.
Lots of times you'll see it on a shot where one has a shot and they're just kind of scrambling for a while without a lot of movement.
Right.
And you'll see just the official decides after, again, that's official's discretion, as you mentioned, how long it is to say, okay, no one's improving, let's move on.
Right.
But let's restart, which is the advantage of the stalemate.
And the officials are obviously coached to, encourage scoring. Yeah, encourage scoring. So it's going to be critical to, try to work to the center and try to score there, and that's
Absolutely.
obviously the goal.
All right,
So.
looks like, all right, Summer's got a nice lock around the head and fighting for hand position as well. So far, we've had 2 stalemates from the neutral position, which is very rare without a shot having been taken yet.
Time's running out here in the first period.
There it is.
It is, yep. So no score. The disc in the pocket has both colors on the wristband, or excuse me, the ankle band, and that's how you determine who goes.
Correct.
Right,
Summer Shackelford won the flip. She will immediately go down. She'll take bottom position, which puts Ava Rupp on top.
And that's just the, I think if you were to look at statistics or poll the wrestlers almost all the time, if you have a choice, unless you want to defer, but even when it's your choice, you're going to pick down just because I think it's easier for them mentally, or they've been taught the sport to get up.
It didn't take her very long to get that stand up straight to an escape.
I swear I didn't script that. I swear.
So now she's up 1-0,
Yeah.
and we're back to that neutral position.
Is that the mindset though there, just because I think traditionally it is easier to sort of get up from that
I
hold?
think a lot of times if there's points that have been scored, you'll see people tend to defer.
Okay.
But in a 0-0 match,
that's a good
sometimes
point.
scoring that first point makes such a huge difference.
It's true.
Especially if you should get all the way to that final ultimate tiebreaker, that 1 point, that first point scored matters.
That's a very good point. I didn't think of that.
So coaches want to try and think a few steps ahead. So that's, in a 0-0 match, a lot of times you'll see people go take down right away,
Right.
just in case they should ever get that far.
That's a good point. That's a good strategy thinking about.
And you can tell that the Manchester Valley coaches were immediately wanted to put Summer in the bottom position.
Position to score, yeah, or to get that escape.
Yeah.
So a couple stalemates here, like you said, they're just.
I think he's looking for. I think the official is looking for action, looking
Yeah.
for people to improve the position, and for the most part, they're just tying up and moving around. It doesn't seem like either one yet is comfortable enough to take a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Either they want to move upper body and can't break loose of each other, or they're just being very tentative. And a lot of times you'll find in finals that people will get very tentative because you don't want to make the mistake. A lot more open and willing wrestling, a lot of times you'll see in tournaments in the semifinals than in finals.
Right.
Finals tend to be often, not always, but very, very cautious. Because if you don't give everything in the semifinals, you don't make it to the finals.
Correct, and it's a big deal, right? They've been wrestling all winter to get to this point. Yes, the loser of this match will wrestle again in regionals more than likely, just if they're healthy. But you want to add that county title to your resume.
So there's a stall call on Ava Rupp as they went out of bounds.
Okay.
The fact that she kept backing up,
Right.
and in the official's opinion, he felt that Summer Shackelford, while pushing in and still not getting a shot, seemed to be pushing the action more. Okay. Not a great shot by Rupp, which immediately went to a cradle.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And then onto her back for Summer Shackelford.
At least
Looks
a
like she's got
takedown
a
here, right?
two count
Oh, yep,
and
you
2
got
back
it.
points.
You were right.
So she's now up 5-0 after the escape, the takedown, and 2 back points at the conclusion of 2 periods.
We're heading into the third period, yeah.
And that gives Rupp the decision moving into the third period.
So she'll look to FSK.
And she takes down. She takes the bottom position.
A little favoring that knee maybe a little bit there too. I see her wearing the brace, but you see Robbie Perry over there from Man Valley.
Correct.
He might be telling Summer to. Oh, no, never mind.
I think one of the things he's telling her is, hey, if she's getting away, give her a 1-point escape rather than a 2-point reversal or something to the back.
Correct. She almost turned her there right off the bat, too.
You'll hear a lot of coaches say give 1, not 2, as in you want to give up, if you have choice, give up a single point rather than give up 2 points.
And when you're up 5, it's a little bit better math, too, right? Being up 4 is being up, opposed to being up 3 with a get caught in a takedown, then you're in trouble. But
it's like she's trying to lock up a cradle.
She's in control of this match here so far.
No. It's like a arm under to. No. Let's see where she's going. I think she's going for it. Yeah, there it is. She's looking for that far side cradle. If she can lock it up.
And then she has to turn right at the hips.
Correct.
Yep. Can't quite get it though.
She's
Rupp's not letting her.
No, Rupp's a tough wrestler.
Yeah.
And giving her quite a fight. Excuse me.
It's okay. It's that time of year, Michael. It's that time of year.
That's what they tell me. Looked like Summer took a nice quick peek to the clock to see how much time she has.
Saw that too.
Can't say I blame her. She's up 5-0 in the third period. Wants to make sure if she knows how much time she has.
Now she can work on a move, right, with a 5-0 lead and be on top like that.
Correct. She needs to be just a little bit cautious because a 5-point move, a reversal to her back,
sure,
suddenly ties it up. But at the same point, she's an aggressive wrestler, and she does want that second straight county championship.
It looks like it's in sight. Let's see what happens here in the final 15 seconds.
Yeah. I think our clock might be off just a tiny bit.
It's just a little bit of out of sync, but we're getting close to the last few seconds of the match.
Yeah. Is it still going a little bit?
Yeah. And that's going to do it.
There you go.
So Summer Shackelford
with a 5-0 win.
A second straight Carroll County championship, and that was a pretty dominant display from Summer, who we've seen Man Valley's girls wrestlers really make the most of their finals so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Manchester Valley has really set a tone for this is what championship girls wrestling looks like in Carroll County.
Yeah.
So good for them, and,
absolutely.
and you can see the work that Coach Dotson and Coach Puri have done.
Yeah.
And it is really paying off for their wrestlers. They've really grown over the years. They latched right onto girls wrestling, and their girls have truly dominated.
And blossomed. The whole program has blossomed. We're heading over to the co-ed side now, 132, and we're going to go ahead and preview the Dylan Oler Angelo Marchini match. We have Oler from Liberty and Marchini from South Carroll. We'll see how Oler got there.
Yeah, he needed overtime to get a takedown to win 4-2. Oler looked a little sluggish, I guess I would say.
Yep.
More than expected in the semifinals.
As he's going for a second straight county title
correct.
as well.
And he's a sophomore with a 31-4 record.
Right.
And then Angelo Marchini, also a sophomore.
He finished off a 6-2 victory over Nate Taylor of
Right, and he's
FSK.
30-10 on the year.
So a couple of really good wrestlers going to go out of here at 132 pounds on the co-ed side. Like I mentioned, Dylan Oler won a county title last season, trying for county title number 2,
right.
And a tough customer in his way here, coming up here in a minute. It's Angelo Marchani of South Carroll. I would think Oler's the favorite just because he won one last year, but obviously at this stage you never know. And that sluggishness, we'll see. We'll see how it translates in the final. Sometimes, look, you got to have your A game almost every time, especially in the county tournament, Michael.
Correct.
If you're not feeling 100% or whatever it is, you got to really make up for that, and that could be something that we see affect these wrestlers as we go on here during the tournament.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And as we said, Oler was the county champ last year. He was at 113 pounds.
Right.
A little bit lower. And then he also won the regional last year and finished 4th in the states. So he's obviously a well-accomplished wrestler. Angelo also accomplished and has been part of that South Carroll machine this year, and driving them along. So should be a good matchup.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Let's go to it. 132 pounds on the co-ed side of the Carroll County Varsity Championships.
All right, Oler's going to be in the gold singlet, blue headgear, and Marchini is in the white singlet with the gold stripe and looks like black headgear.
The 1 seed is Oler, the 2 seed is Marchani.
Yes.
Michael mentioned the 113-pound county champ last year, so a couple weight classes bump up here for Dylan, and didn't let the rest of the county really keep pace with him. He's been really good all year.
Looks like Marchini's trying to work a bit of a front headlock.
Now, Oler did suffer a county loss in the regular season, so 5-1 overall. And Taylor was 5-0, and Marchani was 6-0. I don't know if they all wrestled at 132, but they definitely came in with some good ones. And like we mentioned, Dylan passed 30 wins, but so did Marchani to get to this point. So
correct.
A couple of really good wrestlers this year facing off here in the 132-pound co-ed final.
Both trying to find. All right, there's a single, an outside single by Oler. He's in good position. Now he's going to try. My guess is going to try and start crawling up the body to try and finish that for the takedown. Marchini's going to try and counter. He's not in particularly great position, and there you go. There's your takedown for Oler.
Oler has the lead here early on.
Bringing in the arms, making sure he's controlling the top as well. Keeping his weight strongly on Marchini. Bit of a spiral ride.
You know all the calls.
I know a couple things.
Spiral ride, fireman's roll. This is next level.
Yep.
Only the best in the finals for our CMSportsNet broadcast. of the Carroll County Wrestling Tournament.
Yeah, something like that.
I was going to mention Oler, though, too, just because obviously we watched his older brother finish off a really fun and exciting season last year for Ryan Oler, who was always sort of the bridesmaid a lot of those years prior, and fun to watch him win a state championship in his last high school match last season.
All right, so Marchani wins the coin flip, wins the flip, and he decides to take top. He feels most comfortable in the top position.
A little bit of a unique move, but not necessarily unconventional.
It is unconventional, yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. But that's where he feels he's best opportunity to score points. I think he probably feels that Oler is better at neutral, evidenced by the takedown early.
Right.
And maybe he's not as comfortable that he'd be able to get out, so he's trying to put himself in position to score.
And he does lead, Oler that is, leads the match 2-0 as we're into the second period.
Marchani's tight on him.
He is.
Oler's not moving too much now. He looks like he's trying to work to a stand-up, but he's got to work his arm free before he goes too far. And Marchani's definitely got majority of his weight. And okay, there goes Oler up to his feet, and right back down. Marchani's trying to get a tilt, just can't get the.
Couldn't
can't
quite get it.
him well.
Almost. That was very close to some back points from Marchani. It's a great name too, Angelo Marchani. I like that name. But Oler leads this match here 2-0 as we go under the final minute of the second period of this 132-pound final. And
Right.
Oler in that defensive position. Oh, there you go.
Okay,
you took the words out of my mouth.
Yep.
There you go.
There's the stall call on Oler for not doing enough to improve his position.
That's a stall call, but that's a warning, correct?
It's a warning on the first one, yes.
Correct.
And then he tries to roll through, and he's...
Oler might have that reversal.
There it is. He's got the reversal.
Yeah.
He's able to get Marchani off his balance and enough to turn him over. Now, he's in good position because he's got that bottom leg hooked, which prevents Marchani from turning flat down to the mat.
Probably the right attempt for Marchani in that spot, just trying to do what he can there to turn him over.
Certainly.
But Oler knew it was coming and was able to counteract it with that reversal.
Correct.
So that
Oler needs to be a little bit cautious here. He can't just ride from top.
Because he's already been hit with a warning, right?
Correct.
So don't want to give up any points. Now it's Oler's
decision, and he feels most comfortable in the neutral position.
Yep, that's what it looks
Part
like.
of that could be the stall call already, or it's just his comfort zone.
Either way, smart decision, I think, for Dylan Oler in this regard. Like you said, with a 4-0 lead, you don't want to do anything silly. You can always get caught in something, right? So
he looks a lot more energetic than he did in that semifinal match right now.
Yeah. Changed singlets too, right?
Yes.
I think the guys had their best singlets for the finals. So, but so far, early in this third period, Oler's still in command with that 4-0
kind of dancing. The shot was a bit too far out for Oler to really be effective. But he's going to try and do a throw by off of that front headlock. And there it is. There's his takedown, puts him up 6-0.
Yeah. So Dylan Oler in command here. Still a minute 15 to go, but he's in command and looks to be on his way anyway to repeating, or I should say winning, a second Carroll County Championship title. Not really repeating since he was in the lighter weight last year, but two is two.
All right, well, he's riding really strong on top. He's certainly controlling Marchani, which is probably why Marchani wanted to be on top earlier. He does not feel as comfortable, not necessarily as comfortable on bottom, but as comfortable with Oler on top.
Yeah, it's easier said than done when you have the county champion on top of you working you for points. But look, with 30 seconds to go here, it looks like Dylan Oler, unless something crazy happens here, will add another county title to his resume.
Certainly. Marchani's got Oler's leg hooked a little bit as Oler tries to get it in, but then looks like he's got the right one in, so it's not going to make as much of a difference. And he's managed to get his legs back to under his own control without Marchani having either one of them. He's trying to work.
Trying to get some back points here too,
but it looks like it's just not going to be enough
watching
time
the clock
anyway.
here too, yeah. Only a couple seconds to go here. We're a little bit out of sync there, but that's okay. Dylan Oler, that's it. 6-0 victory over Angelo Marchani of South Carroll, and that's a second straight county title for Dylan Oler. Pretty impressive victory there for
Correct.
Young guy. Sophomore, correct?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So 2 for 2 then
Yes.
for Dylan Oler. And that was something that his older brother, certainly tried to get some of those county titles. It didn't quite work out for him in that regard. He has some tough customers ahead of him, but Dylan Oler has added some to the resume, and congrats to him.
Absolutely.
132-pound co-ed county champ. Our next one up is going to be 138 on the co-ed side, and I think we're going back to a South Carroll wrestler, and that's going to be Gage Owen against Winters Mills' Caleb Crouch. We'll show you how they got to the finals, and as Owen has yet to lose a match this year for the Cavaliers, he pinned his opponent George Halligan of Century in the first period of his semifinal, and it's been a business-like approach for Gage Owen all year long.
Yes, it has.
We've seen him lead the Cavaliers, and then Caleb Crouch of Winters Mill played quarterback in the fall for the Falcons, and here he is in a county final as he got a pin of Ty Strebe of Westminster. Second period pin for Caleb Crouch, and he's on his way to the final as well. So it'll be Owen and Crouch. Like I mentioned, you've got the numbers in front of you, Michael. Owen, no blemishes on his ledger.
No, he's 40-0 this year. He's a two-time state champion. The reason he doesn't have 3 right now, at least one of the reasons, is the fact that 2021 there wasn't a state championship. He is a 3-time county champion. He's wrestling next year at American University.
He is.
He's just, he's multiple-time regional champion. Should be just a great matchup for him. Gage Owen has really dominated everyone this year.
Yeah.
Caleb Crouch is an 11th grader with a 31-3 record, though. He's no slouch.
No, he's not.
But Gage Owen is just really one of the best wrestlers we've had come through in a while. That trio of South Carroll, all 4,
Quartet.
that foursome
Quartet
of the South Carroll seniors, just really, really impressive.
Yeah.
And Gage is the first of those of the 4 going for their 4th county championship.
Yeah,
today.
rarefied air. Let's see what happens here. Gage Owen and Caleb Crouch for the 138-pound co-ed county final.
Gage Owen will be in white with the gold striped singlet, and Caleb Crouch will be in the black singlet for Winters Mill. Okay, Gage quickly goes to a 2-on-1, right down to a single, lifts him up. Does not finish on that one yet. Does have a nice underhook he's working, down to a single, lifts him up. A bit of a counter by Crouch, nice work. Again, Owen is very methodical and aggressive on his feet. Actually, he's aggressive pretty much everywhere. Tried a little bit of a slide by.
Yep.
Crouch got a little bit nice overhook by Owen to counter.
Gage missed a little bit of time during the regular season. Not much, but just a little bit with some.
He's got another single and takes him with a lift right to his back.
And he's in control now, 2-0.
He's got a three-point near fall. Now he's up 5-0. Lets Crouch go, so he's up 5-1. Dancing around a good bit.
I'll give you a break there on the talking. I wanted to just get in a couple things here. Michael mentioned this. Gage is the first year of 4 guys from South Carroll who are going for 4 career county titles. That's not a long list. We saw Ryan Athey do it last year from South Carroll. Before that, only Joey Thomas and Tyler Mullen of South Carroll had done that before in terms of South Carroll. North Carroll had a lot of, I think they had 5 guys go for 4 county titles. FSK had 1. Floyd Miller was the very first one to do it back in 1977 to 1980. And then Randy Owings joined him later on in the mid-90s. And Westminster has a 4-time member in Bobby Biden, who won 4 straight from 95 to 98. Wrestling, been a lot of wrestling in Carroll County, and only 10 guys, double digits. That's a small list of the guys that have won 4. Here's the point. You got to be really good to win 4 county titles every single year, and Gage Owen has a chance here to join that list.
Certainly. I guess my question would be, as you look at that list, how many were teammates when they did it?
Yeah.
Because South Carroll, as we mentioned, has a chance to have 4 of them do it. There's another takedown by Owen right into, looks like he's got that near side cradle hooked up.
So that's a good question. I'm looking at my list here, and looks like only 2, and it was Doug Thomas and Danny Thomas of North Carroll. 83 to 86 for Doug Thomas and 84 to 87 for Danny Thomas. So the brothers.
They had 3 years overlap.
Yeah, and they won 8 combined, so not bad for the Thomas family. And again, Joey Thomas, no relation to South Carroll, did his from 2014 to 2017. So I guess Ryan Athey just missed that then, I guess, by a year. He did his last year from 22 to 21, 2019. Yeah, he missed
19,
him by 19. So, so it looks like these would be the second group of teammates, and this would be, we'll see how this goes here tonight, but if all four do it, that'll be unprecedented. Never happened before in county history.
Yeah, Gage has leg turked, and he's trying to then turn Crouch over again. He's got a nice 7-1 lead early in the second period. As I said, Gage Owen really doesn't give up much at all, except what he wants to. He's very aggressive in top and neutral, and has Crouch down again, giving up back points once more.
Not that Gage Owen can't pin his opponents. He certainly can. He came into this match with over 30 pins, and into the tournament, I should say. But this one, the way this is going, it looks like he might be just working on. Of course, he wants to pin, but he's also got plenty of ability to just really work skill here and try to pile up the points.
Absolutely. And he's
There's
got
the
cradle locked up again.
Excuse me. But Crouch broke free.
Crouch did break free, so good on him.
Gage Owen just looks like he's all arms and legs.
Immediately just then moves around.
A lot of arms and legs when you're wrestling Gage Owen. We talked about JoJo Gigliotti being precise. Gage is, right up there.
Yes, very much so. Best way to put it is methodical.
Methodical is a great word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's up 12-1.
Yeah, but he's not stopping.
Correct.
Right? He's not resting.
He's not coasting to a win.
Correct.
He's continuing to push the envelope and try and work to the fall, or at least to the technical fall.
And the technical fall is what?
When there's a difference of 15 points.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's up 11 now. So
yeah, sure.
He's 2 sets of back points.
Right. With plenty of time, and with plenty of time left. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. A decision. We can go through this real quickly here. Anywhere from 1 to 7 points.
Correct.
And then a major decision goes from 8 to 14.
Correct.
And then anything after 15 is a technical fall.
Correct.
Of course, in the dual meets, if you win by decision, you give your team 3 points.
All right. Official felt that that was potentially dangerous. Wanted to keep Crouch from getting injured, so he immediately stopped that move, and that puts Owen back on top late in the second period, up 12-1.
Yep. I was looking at 3 points if you're wrestling in a duel for your team for a decision, 4 for a major, 5 for a tech fall, and of course 6 for the pin.
Correct.
I know that's not the way they scored here in the tournament.
No, in tournaments, decision gets you nothing beyond the advancement points.
Okay.
You get 1 point for a major decision.
Okay.
1.5 for a technical fall, and then 2 points for a pin. Beyond advancement points, and then you also get placement points.
That's what I was going to say. There's also wrestlers that finish in the top 4 are garnering points for their team, and so on. So.
All right, so Owen decides to take down.
Probably smart here with such a big lead.
Crouch drops down to a single leg. Owen counters, sits down, tries is worked, and now he has reversed him. So that puts him up 14-1. He's
closing
on top.
In on that
He's got
fall.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's a 2-point move away from a technical fall.
Crouch trying to hold on, but no shame, as Owen is quite an accomplished wrestler. Ooh. And this might do it.
Well, he may try for the pin.
Yeah, which he still can,
certainly
right?
was trying for. But if Crouch gets out of it, and there it is.
Once Crouch rolled back over, right. So that's it. Gage Owen has done it. 4 career county championships for the 2-time state champion. 16-1 victory over Caleb Crouch, and I think they're giving him some accolades there in the gymnasium, and rightfully so, Michael. I mean, the first of what we're going to see 3 more guys who have a chance from South Carroll, but impressive is the word I'm trying to say here.
Very much so. You could just see how technically sound he is, how aggressive he is, but in control the entire time. He's actually a fun wrestler to watch.
He is.
Because he has so many different ways to beat you, and he just has that motor that doesn't stop. He's moving the entire time. Yeah. He's always looking to improve his position. He's not coasting to the wins. So he's really geared towards that next level of wrestling.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, that is for sure. Congrats to Gage Owen, 4 career county titles. We're going back to the girls' side, 130 pounds. Hannah Cunningham of Westminster and Chloe Schwang of Manchester Valley. Let's take a look and see how they got to the final. Cunningham needed some sudden victory, I believe, here in overtime to advance by beating Maggie Morley 11-9.
Yeah, take down.
So a good match there between those two girls.
Late in the first overtime period, which puts Hannah Cunningham into the finals.
And Schwang was able to take on FSK's Jordan DeFabo And we saw Cunningham's arm raise in victory, and as this one was winding down, Schwang was able to secure the pin. So a nice finish for Chloe Schwang. And so it's going to be Cunningham and Schwang in the 130-pound final. And what do we got for both these girls, Michael?
Schwang's a 9th grader, with a 7-4 record. And Hannah Cunningham's a 10th grader with a 9-6 record. Both young wrestlers, relatively new to the sport.
Right.
But, exciting to see them in the county finals, really working. We've seen that Manchester Valley program going. But Westminster's working on building their program year after year after year as well.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to see. And this should be a great matchup, and I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. 130 pounds on the girls' side, Cunningham and Schwang. Let's see who comes out on top in the county title. So Michael mentioned a couple of the younger girls in terms of experience-wise, but they got this far by winning their semifinal matches, so they've already got one win today, each of them. Cunningham, a top seed here, are the 4 girls that were in the field.
Cunningham is in the black singlet with the light blue trim for Westminster, and Schwang is in the blue singlet with the white stripe, typical Manchester Valley singlet.
That's a fine-looking wrestling mat there, too, Michael.
Yes, it is. It's nice to be able to showcase all 7 of our schools.
That's right. With the nice CCPS logo in the middle. Schwang trying to add to Man Valley's already really successful day here on the girls' side.
It really has been.
And Cunningham trying to get Westminster's first today. They had a couple last year, if I'm not memory serves, on
I think you're correct on that.
The first official girls county championship bracket. Yeah, tournament. We should call it a tournament.
Both girls working upper ties right now, trying to feel out the other, figure out what strategy they feel was going to be successful. Also fighting really well for hand control. Schwang seems to be pushing in a bit more, definitely being heavy on each other's heads. A little bit of a club across it. Nothing illegal, but aggressive and strong wrestling. All right, looks like a bit of a 2-on-1 from Cunningham. All right, Schwang got out of it.
No one really has the upper hand here so far.
Not so much. I've not seen anything more than, there's a shot by Schwang. She's
nice quick shot, too.
Yeah, maybe a little bit far away to get much of a finish, but she's trying to step up into it.
Can Cunningham sprawl away? Looks like she can.
Cunningham has a decent sprawl now. Looked like she was in a little bit of trouble earlier.
There's no way that she can get around her there. That's going to wind up being the end of the period, I believe. Again, we're a little bit off on the scoreboard. Oh, no, excuse me.
He gave 2 for Cunningham on that one.
Now, let me see. Did he wave it off? No, he did not. I think you were right. So right at the end there, did he give him the 2, or did he just wait? Was the time? I guess time ran out.
Okay.
Time ran out. I thought I saw it too.
I thought it was a little too close for that as well.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, we're a little bit, a couple seconds behind there, just between the 2 cameras, but we're close.
All right. So here we go. We've got Cunningham on top. Looks like she's trying to work a half from the knees. Probably wants to get the half more on the top of the head, not as much on the neck if she wants to try and turn her. Just a little more torque in it that way. But she's got a near ankle and what looks like had a half at some point. Just try and keep a leg in and bring her back down without locking her hands. Schwang is doing a great job of getting back up each time and takes her back out of bounds.
Like Michael said, Schwang's in the Man Valley blue and silver, and Cunningham in the black for Westminster, and Schwang on the bottom position here, facing away from us. No score yet in this 130-pound girls final.
Nearing midway in the second period, almost halfway through the match, or at least regulation portion of the match.
Don't jinx it now.
Schwang is doing a good job of trying to get her wrist back and then getting right up to her feet. Cunningham is working to, Schwang had the head, but wants to be careful not to reach back to grab the head. That puts you in an awful position when you do that from top, or from bottom, excuse me.
It's okay.
Cunningham looks like she might be trying to go for that far side cradle, but for the most part she's cross-facing well, and she's going back to that half Nelson on the knees. She does have Schwang down. But again, she's going to need to pull her across the body and stretch her out a little bit more if she really wants to do much with it.
We're looking for our first points of the match here,
Cunningham
Michael.
was a little bit out of position there, but she got it right back in, getting behind again. She's going to need to take her back down so that she doesn't get a stall call. There it is. There's the stall for not returning Schwang to the mat or letting her go. Those are the two things she has to do. And now you see the assistant official was the first one to notice the locked hands. So Cunningham is going to lose a point on locked hands.
So that means what?
It's a penalty point, but because Schwang has an opportunity to get a reversal or an escape, they're not going to stop the match
Right,
yet.
right.
Now they get the reversal.
Okay, because she's in control.
Correct.
Right.
They didn't want her to I'm sorry. They don't want to take away the momentum of the bottom wrestler by stopping it as soon as the locked hands take place. However, if Cunningham would have taken control again, then they would have just stopped it and given the point.
So they gave her. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Beginning of the third period, Cunningham puts herself in the bottom position. Feeling that she thought about going neutral. Looks like her coach has talked her out of it.
I was only going to say that's why it's 3-0, right? The 1 point for the locked hands and the 2 points for the reversal.
Correct.
Okay. And it looks like Schwang's in business again here.
Yeah, she got close to almost locking her hands. Taking Cunningham back down to the mat, but she did a good job of not doing it.
I want to just ask you, locked hands means you can't
lock your hands around the body unless it's in a pinning combination.
Okay.
So you're not just allowed to wrap around
and hold your hands together.
Correct.
You can hold your wrist.
Only if you're in a pinning combination.
Okay. Got it. So
even
that's
if
locked hands too.
Really, if the hands touch, it doesn't have to be a lock.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the idea is, you can have your hands working on your opponent's wrists, or if you're in a pinning combination, like in a cradle, you can lock your hands.
Got it.
But you can't just lock straight around the body.
Got it.
All right. Well, Schwang has Cunningham on her back,
sure does.
and there you go. There's your pin. And that is another county championship for Manchester Valley.
Congratulations,
Chloe Schwang winning her first county title.
A good match there. Hannah Cunningham from Westminster just not quite able to keep pace with Schwang. Close match, one period of no scoring, and then Schwang was able to take advantage of the one reversal. And
Absolutely.
Then, of course,
she took advantage of the locked hands, the reversal, and then when she got on top, she felt obviously very comfortable, took her over, and got the pinfall.
Congratulations to Chloe Schwang. We're going to head over to the co-ed 145 final. It's going to be Michael Pizzuto of South Carroll and Blake Ray of Man Valley. Let's take a look and see how these two wrestlers reached the final before we actually watch their match. Michael Pizzuto, as we know, we've talked a lot about him, Michael, through his career.
Yeah.
He pins Cameron Wagner of Century right at the end of the first period to finish off that semifinal. He's a two-time state champ. He's a three-time county champ. I'm probably stealing your thunder here, but Blake Ray, maybe one of the, I won't call it an upset, but maybe just a surprise a little bit that Blake Ray was able to, and good for Blake Ray to get a victory over Ryder Eckenberger just based on seeds.
Right,
So,
and pinfall at that. He actually dominated the match, I felt, when he wrestled Ryder Eckenberger.
We mentioned Pizzuto. He's next in line here to try to add a fourth career county title for South Carroll.
Yep.
You said Gage Owen's been fun to watch. Pizzuto, again, just workmanlike.
Very much
Goes about his business. Doesn't say a whole lot during the lead up to the matches.
Correct.
He lets his actions kind of speak for themselves on the mat. He's been fun to watch too for 4 years.
He has been. Another, as you mentioned, three-time county champ, two-time regional champ, two-time state champ. And I always feel like we need to put in that bit of an asterisk to these guys on their two-time state champions and two-time regional champions.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't have an opportunity for that 2021 season because they've just dominated throughout high school. Three of them are multi-time state champions, multi-time regional champions. And Michael Pizzuto is the second of the three. And so he's just a dominant wrestler. In Carroll County, but in the state of Maryland as well. Blake Ray has had a great season, has had a great tournament. Take nothing away from him. So looking forward to this matchup.
As we go to it, Michael Pizzuto, Blake Ray, county finals. We're back in that Man Valley silver and blue.
Yep.
With Blake Ray.
And Michael Pizzuto in black with the gold stripe.
Maybe the only surprising thing so far with Michael Pizzuto is 3 losses on his ledger. Only I say that because he did have a 50-0 season on his career, but the competition gets tougher, right, as you get older. That's usually how it goes.
He went undefeated through his first 3 years of high school wrestling. And he does have 3 losses on the year this year. All 3 very quality opponents. So.
No doubt.
All right, so Pizzuto's got, looks like an underhook and front headlock. All right, well, that's out of that. He's certainly heavy on the head. He's controlling that head. Drops down to a single, right behind to a quick takedown, and lets Ray go. Michael's another one who's just really comfortable in neutral and comfortable that he can take down. I mean, Ray had a nice shot. Pizzuto just moved his leg right back and then spins right behind.
Gets 2 more there.
So quick and, again, very, very technically sound.
We're seeing guys that certainly know how to pin their opponents, but also guys that like to score. They've been taught as youngsters to go score, and these are the best in the business at it right here.
And just like Gage Owen is going to wrestle next year at American University, Michael Pizzuto is going to the University of Maryland to wrestle next year.
Taking his talents down to College Park.
Yes.
He'll be going after that 3rd state title in a couple of weeks.
Yes, he will.
Over 100 career wins, of course. He's on South Carroll's all-time win list. So, been fun to watch. Been a pleasure to watch all the guys, other guys from the county as well. I'm not taking anything from them, but South Carroll, as we know, has put together quite a run here with this crop of Cavaliers.
Absolutely.
So 4-1 here as the first period winds down. Pizzuto in control.
Yes, he is, very much so. Just staying really tight on top, working a little bit that ride, trying to take Ray right to his back so he can get back points, put him in position.
And he got some there at the end of the period.
I think he got 2 more. Yes, he did. So that puts him up 6-1 at the conclusion of the first period.
So end of the period, 6-1 for Pizzuto. Or actually, maybe a couple seconds left. I'm trying to figure this out here. Yeah.
All right.
They put 2 seconds back on.
Gotcha.
So he was near the end of the outside of the
certainly.
Almost call it a ring. The outside of the mat, and before the time ran out. So there you go. The end of the first period there. Now 6-1 for Pizzuto. Going against the 3 seed Blake Ray, who Michael mentioned. Really good regular season. Man Valley, South Carroll got a lot of the headlines, rightfully so. Man Valley had 39 dual wins this year and was really, really tremendous season for them as well. Lost a really close one in regional duels.
Pizzuto with the stand up and escape. Puts him right back where he's incredible. Actually, he's comfortable on the mat too, but very comfortable in the neutral position.
Is he uncomfortable in any of the positions? I'm going to say no.
I have not really seen much of that.
Yeah.
Again, countered a strong shot and got right in on his own shot.
I mean,
he's a very good counter wrestler. And there's his,
lifts that leg to make it impossible for Ray to do anything, right? And then you get the takedown again.
Correct.
Just makes it something. How do you scout against something like this? You know you're the underdog, and you're trying to do something here, and it just makes guys like Pizzuto make it almost impossible for the opponent to get any rhythm at all.
He's got a 9-1 lead. Almost halfway through the second period, and he decides to go neutral, so he puts Ray back on his feet, gives him the escape,
right,
without taking any time off the clock to do it.
And that's just a chess play there, basically,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Just a strategic move on his part.
Right. Yep.
That he wants to be right back on his feet and not have to waste time letting him up.
Pizzuto and Ray, 145-pound co-ed final at the
Ray's getting some decent shots, but he just can't seem to finish. He just keeps getting countered really well. That's a beautiful low leg cradle. And he's got Ray right onto his back.
Ooh, it's close.
Looks like he's got that shoulder up just a bit. But Pizzuto does have it locked in nicely, although, okay, there goes.
Looks like he lost grip.
He did lose the grip on that.
Yep. But he scored plenty of points there.
Yes, he did. There's 3 more back points.
So now it's a 9-point lead for Pizzuto into. Oh, make it, excuse me. Yeah, it's 12. You're right. I was a little behind the scoreboard.
That's okay.
Not going to hold it against me?
I'll let it go this time.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But Pizzuto's just riding really strong and then looking yet again to score more points. He's never, just like we talked about with Gage Owen, he's never letting up and taking it easy. There's no rest time in the match.
And the motivation sits right out there for Pizzuto. He wants to be on that list of 4 county champs.
Correct.
And to continue to win, because obviously the end goal is the state title.
All right, at the end of the second period.
Yep, I may be going to check the scoreboard here just to make sure the score is correct. But with a 12-point lead, Pizzuto is on his way, barring any crazy third period from adding his name to that list of 4-time county champs. Looks like we're all square.
All right, Ray has decided to go neutral.
The lesser of the 3 evils, maybe.
Perhaps.
So 2 minutes away from a 4th county title if Michael Pizzuto holds on here.
Like I said, Ray has had a lot of really decent shots, but he just doesn't seem to have the quickness to match up to Michael and Michael's countering. That one he actually got hold of the leg briefly, but it looks like Pizzuto immediately countered that into yet another takedown.
And now he's on the edge of.
All right, now he's up 13 points, so a takedown ends the match here.
Correct.
And another shot by Ray, Pizzuto.
And this is going to do it.
And there it is. There's your takedown.
There it is.
18-3.
The match is stopped. The technical fall is locked in, and Michael
4 minutes and
Pizzuto
46 seconds into the match. Michael Pizzuto wins his 4th county championship.
Congratulations to Michael Pizzuto, another business-like effort from the senior. Again, still a few weeks to go before his high school career ends. His college career will be one to watch as well, Michael. And again, we couldn't say enough about Gage Owen. Same goes with Michael Pizzuto.
Absolutely. The work ethic these wrestlers from South Carroll have shown over the years is just truly impressive. And while 3 of them were state champions as freshmen, they've continued to grow and improve each and every year. So they've really been fun for us to watch.
Yeah.
And it's been worthwhile to see them, but I know their teammates have truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have as well. Congratulations. We're going to head back over to the girls' side. It's the 135-pound final between Kira Cooper of Francis Scott Key, Ashley Gomez of Winners Mill. Let's get right out to the mat and check it out.
Ashley Gomez will be in the black singlet, and Kira Cooper in that red, white, and blue of Francis Scott Key.
Well, the red, white, and blue.
Kira's an 11th grader with a 13-3 record. She was the champion at the Winners Mill Falcon invite, and she's got Ashley right onto her back right away. And Ashley is a 10th grader. She did place at the Falcon invite. But you can see
Cooper
Kira's
making this one tough for Gomez.
Yes, she is. Took her right down to her back. She's a little bit high for pinning position, so if she were able to sink back a bit and go chest on chest.
If she can get that shoulder to turn, right?
Sure, certainly. But
yeah, getting closer.
She needs to sink back just a tiny bit to get in better position, but got it right there.
She got it, so.
And that gives her the pin.
It does. So an FSK, another county champion for the Eagles, and that's Kira Cooper from 135 pounds. Congrats to her. And just before we get to the next final, Michael, we mentioned FSK, and it's their girls program was behind the other ones in terms of they had a couple of maybe smattering of them once in a while. Right. It is kind of nice to see the full team go out there and participate in the tournament. We see their team score was pretty good.
Yeah.
Kudos to, we said this already, but it's been a little while. Kudos to Bill Heisen and Davey Blake and Zach Blessing and all the guys that help at FSK to get those girls to a county championship level.
No, it's been great to see. It really has. That growth from just a few wrestlers to, I think they've got close to 10 in the room now. And you can see it's paying off, the work that they've put in and the champions they're creating in this county, in this tournament. So it's fun for me. I love the growth of girls wrestling as a sport, and I'm really proud of the work that many of our coaches are doing, Francis Scott Key in particular. Yep,
absolutely. I'd echo that as well. We're heading back over to the co-ed side, 152. We're going to have Travis Green of Manchester Valley going up against Anthony Rodriguez of South Carroll. This should be a good one. Let's take a look and see how these two wrestlers got to the final.
Travis Green with a pin of Kevin Poole.
And it was a quick one, too.
Early, midway through the first period.
Midway, yeah. But we mentioned Travis Green, and Michael will do it in a second, but before we do that, Anthony Rodriguez, one of our recent picks for Athlete of the Week, and big reason why, going against Joey D'Orsona of Century.
Yeah, the 7-1 win.
Yep.
Anthony was part of that state duels championship team for South Carroll.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to mention Travis Green because he's one of the only guys, only a couple, I believe, in the county that haven't lost a match. Coming into the tournament, he was undefeated.
Yeah.
I think only 2 wrestlers this year so far have gotten through.
It's just he and Gage Owen.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see if Travis Green can continue that and add another county title. He won one last year against freshman Anthony Rodriguez. Let's go back out to the action. I was looking forward to this one when I saw that these guys were in the finals because 2 really good wrestlers.
Absolutely. Anthony Rodriguez, as you mentioned, is a freshman with a 30-9 record. Travis Green, the senior, is 44-0. He was a region champ last year. He was the 3rd place at the state championship. He was also a county champ last year. And I believe earlier this year he had his 100th career pin.
Not win.
Correct.
Pin.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was a couple weeks ago. I know he's approaching 150 career wins, but he's also a pinner.
He is. I think
when you have 100 career pins, that's not a small.
No, small feat.
Small feat at all.
You're right about that.
Nice counter shot right behind, but nope, no call on that. I thought he may have had 2 briefly, but I guess the official determined he didn't have it long enough to control.
Oh, did he get 2? Yeah, I was going to say that was a nice takedown, and then he was able to secure the points. Travis is just motivated this year. I talked to him a few weeks ago, and just how he was talking about, you mentioned the wins record for Man Valley was in sights. The pins record was in sights. I think he's gotten them both already. If not the wins, it's coming up soon if he can continue to win. Just a really, really solid wrestler. And again, one of the only guys undefeated. And you mentioned it, 40-0. I'm sorry, 44-0. Yeah, as he goes into this final. And wrestling, no small customer here in Anthony Rodriguez, who's went 5-1 during the regular season in the county, and 20+ pins and 30 wins. So that's why I said I wanted to see this one on the mat just to see who would come out on top. But right now it's Travis Green.
Travis Green's on top, and he's certainly working side on that arm, trying to work it out from behind or from underneath Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony is a strong freshman and has had a really solid year. He's jumped his weight around throughout the year to benefit the team.
Right.
A lot of these South Carroll wrestlers have moved around wherever it helped the team the best. Anthony's just been one of them, and he's one of 3 brothers also in the county finals. So.
And imagine that, though. They try to do the best, help the team, and the team goes out and wins the 2nd straight duels state title. So that does speak to how South Carroll's goals are certainly team-oriented, with the individual accolades come as a result of that. So the first period's winding down here, and I believe Travis Green's going to finish it up with just a 2-0 lead. That's where we saw that takedown here on the near side of the mat. Whose choice is it here? We're going to find out. It's okay.
Anthony decides he wants to be in neutral position.
Looked over to Coach Winfield and Coach Hamper. Actually, that's
Coach Rodriguez.
Anthony's dad. That's right.
And
so
Coach
I
Hamper.
didn't see that. They definitely want him to press the issue here, press the action.
Absolutely.
On Green.
Nice tie for both of them. Travis is trying to work for inside position.
Looking at them, you would think that Anthony is the more muscular of the 2. That's taking nothing away from Travis, but Travis just really uses his body to the best.
Just right on the edge, out of bounds. Official stops it. No one had control there, so we're right back to neutral.
I was talking to Rodriguez for a second, but I think he was just letting him know the situation.
Staying a little bit straight-legged. Both still working that head, trying to be heavy on the head, tire out their opponent throughout the match. Both of them are expecting a 6-minute match, so they certainly are, pacing themselves and also trying to punish their opponent throughout it. All right, there's a takedown for Rodriguez.
Okay, so we're tied up.
Yes, and then a quick escape for Green to make it 3-2.
So good action there.
Yep, Rodriguez had a great counter to get that takedown. And then
he finds himself in the match here.
But just couldn't hold on much for very long on it, which put Green in good position to get the escape.
But from being down 2-0,
correct.
Now you're only down 3-2.
There's a shot by Green.
Green right back to
Green's
it.
in deep. Rodriguez is going to try and counter by
What's the
locking around
best
the
way to
body.
counter? I was just going to ask you, what's the best way to counter this move?
But when Rodriguez got towards his back, that's when he kind of let go because he was in possible neutral pin position.
Man, Valley coaches wanted that pin, though. It looked like he might have had Rodriguez on his back.
Yeah.
Tough call.
It is a tough call. It's also determined. They're looking also for control as well as
Sure. He
It's
did
rare
get the
to get a
takedown.
neutral pin.
Right.
Certainly.
You're right.
So as we, okay, and there's Green looking to lock up that cradle.
Last few seconds of the
I don't think he's going to run out of time on it. Yeah. All right, so he's got a 5-2 lead after 2 periods, and it's his choice if he's going to go down.
Good period there, though, with both guys looking to score points after the first period of just feeling each other out a little bit. So Green trying to repeat as a county champ and trying to stay undefeated on the season with just 2 weekends left in the season in his senior year to boot.
Right.
So senior against freshman here.
Yes.
Now Green.
All right, nice step over to
man,
reversal.
That was nice.
Rodriguez was close to trying to lock up a cradle, but it looked like he got just slightly low in his hips and allowed Green to get the higher hips to get in better position right there.
That was a nice move by Green to get out of that potential dangerous hold by Rodriguez.
So now he's got a 7-2 lead.
Yep.
And Rodriguez is not doing a lot on bottom.
Yeah. We haven't seen too
But
many.
he's also trying to make certain he's not going to get turned.
Yes. We haven't seen too many.
All right, there's your first stall on Rodriguez.
I shouldn't have
Official
said
feels that he's not doing enough to improve his position.
Just a warning there for Rodriguez, correct?
Yep. Oftentimes when you see wrestlers put their arms in by their side, that's an indicator that the official's looking to call that as a stall.
Right.
Green's got a bit of power ride work. Working to stay behind. I know he's continuing to be aggressive throughout the match. He's not content, I don't believe, with a 5-point lead. He wants to make sure he wants to push that action.
Time's on his side, though. We're
working a bit of a bar.
We're under 30 seconds now.
On the left side, now he might be trying to look for a double bar. Now he's trying to lock up the 2-on-1 bar.
The near side here, right? Yeah. Oop. He can tilt
there. Trying to get a bit of a tilt out of it. Oh, couldn't quite see it based on the picture, but the official gave Rodriguez another stall call, which was a point, which made it 8-2.
Oh yeah, and now he's got some.
And now he's got some back points.
He's going to finish this off. An impressive victory by Travis Green.
It gives him the major decision of 11-2.
I think it's 11-2.
Still, good showing by the freshman, Anthony Rodriguez.
Absolutely. Nice job by Travis Green. That's two county titles. And like we said, he stays unbeaten, one of only 2 county wrestlers. That's going to bode well for him with 2 weekends to go, Michael, as he's looking for a regional title and a state title.
Absolutely. He's had just a really, really strong year to this point, and I'm quite certain he's not satisfied.
No.
I'm pretty certain he's happy with what he's done, but definitely not satisfied, and looking to add to that, to his resume, get that second regional title, and improve upon his state placement position.
Correct.
So good for him, and winning that second county title definitely propels him into better position moving into next week.
The first hurdle's cleared, so congrats to Travis Green. Let's jump back over to the girls now. The 140-pound final is going to be between Francis Scott Key's Mackenzie Kuhn and Winters Mills' Addie Vallandingham. Right to the finals we go, so let's go check it out at 140 pounds.
Mackenzie Kuhn's a sophomore at Francis Scott Key, and Addie Vallandingham is also a sophomore at Winters Mill, both making their first county finals appearance.
Again, we see FSK finding their way to a final, and again, we mentioned Winters Mill, John Lowe, coaching over there with the Falcons after coaching the co-ed side for many years and many state championships. And they twisted his arm and brought him back out of retirement to help the girls. I think he was pretty happy and pleased with what's happened this winter.
I think he has been. I think he's been another one of those coaches that's really helped to grow the girls' side of wrestling in Carroll County.
Absolutely.
And it's really exciting to see how well it's grown, and I'm hopeful to see continued growth and get a couple of our schools who are a little behind it to bring up that pack next year.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, a couple of these teams only had 2, 3 0, for many years, and Man Valley has sort of started it with Westminster as well. And now you're seeing the FSKs, the South Carroll, I know just one, but still, you got to start somewhere, right? So
correct.
I know as the county AD, you're hoping to see Liberty and Century join the flock of the girls wrestling, and numbers are going to say they probably will.
Absolutely. All right, so you see Allie Vallandigham trying to work ahead and wing to kind of throw Mackenzie Kuhn to her back, and looks like she did get the takedown, but she's not quite in position for back points just yet. And Kuhn reversed it really well.
That's a nice move.
And put Vallandigham right onto her back.
And she's in trouble here for a pin.
Yes, she is. It's late in the first. And there you go.
Oh, she got it.
And Mackenzie Kuhn, another county championship for the Francis Scott Key Eagles.
Right under the gun, too,
great
at the end
counter.
of the first period.
Yeah, great counter, right to her back, and a pin with 1 second remaining in the first period. So congratulations to Mackenzie Kuhn.
Can't get closer than that. Mackenzie Kuhn, your county champion, 140, and another big performance from FSK. So good job on the Eagles. We're going to take a quick break, actually, here, but we're going to be right back with the rest of the championship finals for the CMSportsNet Carroll County Varsity Championships. Michael and I'll be right back. Don't go away.
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
Skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week. Each week, CMSportsNet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments. The CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week is sponsored by Genovas To Go, locations in Westminster, Manchester, Hampstead, Hanover, and coming soon, Eldersburg. Genovas To Go, pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. We're back with the cough.
Well done.
Michael Duffy, yeah, right on time. It's okay. He's not feeling 100%, but he's here. Michael Duffy, Pat Stoetzer, we're back for the Carroll County Varsity Wrestling Championships. I believe we're going to get back into it at 160 pounds on the co-ed side. That's AJ Rodriguez from South Carroll, Braden Vaca from Westminster. Let's see how both those wrestlers did in their semifinal matches. AJ Rodriguez, again, one of these other South Carroll wrestlers with tons of success on his resume. You see him with a first period pin here over Kingston Cambio of Man Valley. We'll talk a little bit more about AJ in a second. His opponent, Braden Vaca, who this was a good match between FSK's Bodie Griffin and Westminster's Braden Vaca. Michael, you were in the gym. Sudden victory, a really good match that went right down to the wire. Now you see Vaca celebrating on his home mat. Bodie Griffin was the higher seed there, so with a good season. But Vaca gets his way to the final. He's wrestling a tough customer, though, Michael, with AJ Rodriguez, who, again, is going for a 4th career county title. What do you say about AJ?
Kind of the same things I say about Gage Owen and Michael Pizzuto and his teammate coming up afterwards. AJ's just dominated. He's dominated since his freshman year. He's now a senior. He's the 3rd in line tonight for a 4th county championship. He has 2 regional championships. He has 2 state championships. That's the same asterisk as Gage Owen and Michael Pizzuto. But AJ is another very, very dominant wrestler. A nonstop motor, doesn't play around, just continues to work to improve and put himself in position to, put down his opponent, take him right to the mat and pin him. And AJ is incredibly dominant throughout the year. Sitting at 39-2.
Right.
Braden Vaca's no slouch either, 32-10. He's a junior, but AJ's just he's one of those names in South Carroll wrestling history now.
Yes. Upper level name.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a lot of them, but on this team alone, opportunity at four wrestlers with 4 county championships. You don't see that.
You don't.
So it's really exciting, and AJ's fun to watch, and I'd look forward to this match.
Yeah, there we go. Trying for the 3rd of the 4 career county titles. AJ Rodriguez, Braden Vaca for the 160-pound co-ed county final.
You see AJ in the white singlet with black trim, and Braden Vaca in the black singlet with the light blue trim of Westminster.
Vaca wrestling on his home mat.
AJ right into a front headlock, spins out from the front headlock.
Whereas we watched Gage Owen and Michael Pizzuto, and this is just comparing the two. Rodriguez, a little more power.
Yes.
A little more pin-first attitude. Not that Gage and Michael don't want to pin guys, but you know what I mean.
And he got his takedown and then immediately lets him back up.
AJ showcases his power a lot.
Just power and speed and technique. He's got all of them and works them well together.
Yeah, I mean, we see it on the football field, and we see it on the wrestling mat.
And AJ's moved his weight around this year as well to put the team in best position to be successful in their duels and tournaments. But as he looks, to that individual component, coaches and he felt that 160 pounds was the best place for him to be, and that's where he is. And now he's got a nice 4-2 lead with 2 takedowns and 2 let-ups.
Right,
That's
exactly.
probably the best way of putting
Surrendering
it.
points, yeah, right. He hasn't been scored upon yet.
And then there's his 3rd takedown.
And he'll try to go to work. Oh, not yet. Still doing the, still showing off the technique here so far, the technical side of things.
Absolutely. And takes him right out of bounds for a restart. With AJ will be on top, with leading by a score of 6-2.
Under 30 seconds to go in the first period.
And he goes for an optional start and tries to do a bit of a spin move, and it didn't.
Yeah,
it was not effective.
It was not.
Which gave Braden a reversal and puts him up and cuts the lead to 6-4.
Got to have a little confidence when you're if you're like that to try a move like that.
Absolutely.
And, Vaca took advantage, though. Credit to him.
Yes, he did. And just as time expires,
couple seconds to go.
Rodriguez.
So he got the escape, but I don't believe he got the takedown.
Actually, I take that back. I don't believe he gave him the escape.
Oh.
I thought he had it, but
me too.
He said that Vaca maintained control.
Looked like for a second Westminster's coaches were questioning something, but you're right.
All right, so it puts Vaca. Vaca chooses top to start the 2nd period. Guess he does not feel comfortable in the neutral position. And in bottom, outside of Rodriguez's mistake, he's not done much. Okay, and Rodriguez is out in just a couple seconds.
Right away, too. Yeah. Seven to 4 now, Rodriguez with the lead.
Vaca gets him with a shot. Rodriguez counters with a front headlock. Circling around. And now he gets all the way behind. Now he's got 2 more points. That puts him up 9-4. And he lets Vaca go.
So Rodriguez certainly wants to be in neutral position to work for a pin, hence the let-ups.
He's very comfortable in neutral. He likes, he's racking up points that way. Another one and takes him to his back.
Now we're close to a pin. Oh, and there it is.
And there it is.
So patience worked well, I should say, for A.J. Rodriguez, and give him a 4th career county title with the second period pin over Braden Vaca of Westminster. And again, that's 3 now South Carroll wrestlers, Michael, that have won their 4th career county title. We set it up that way. We thought they would be in line as the top seeds, and they're 3 for 3 so far.
I'm not sure what to say, Pat.
You don't have to say much else.
Much beyond that. It's an impressive showing by by 3 of the quartet right now.
Yes.
Up to this point of dominating the county tournament. Winning as freshmen. That sophomore year was disjointed, to say the least.
Correct.
Coming right back last year and continuing it through this year. It's just been a dominant team since they've come on the scene. And they've really shown it in the county tournament with those, with so far 3 classmates being 4-time champs.
That's crazy to think. Congratulations to AJ. With like Michael said, 1 left in that quartet. We'll see him soon. But for now, we go to girls. 145. Francis Scott Keys, Adeline Crakes, Winters Mills, Kimura Herod in the final. Let's get right to the action.
Kimura Herod is going to be in that black Winters Mill singlet, and Addie Crakes will be in the red, white, and blue of Francis Scott Key. We've seen these 2 teams match up in several finals so far.
The red, white, and blue has served Key well here in this finals
Yes,
on the girls' side.
It's like Crakes got a little bit of an underhook, had one, or excuse me, sorry, Herod had the underhook.
Herod in the dark singlet.
Yep, both playing for hand position, fighting for hand position. A little bit of a collar tie. Herod going for a headlock, but Crakes takes her down with it, counters well, got good hip positioning, and looks like Crakes may be going for a far side cradle. We've seen a lot of those.
Ooh, I think she might have it locked. Oh, I thought so for a second.
She's out in front a little bit, probably wants to get back behind to maintain control and try and put Herod back down so she can try and turn her again. Looks like she may be working a little bit of an arm bar, or trying to. Nah, looked like that slipped out also. Crakes is definitely being aggressive, trying lots of moves as she goes. She does have that near leg hooked, which is going to prevent Herod from just standing up and getting away.
We're into the second minute of the first period here. And Crakes, like Michael said, in control here of that 2-0 lead.
Yep. She's got that cross face, but locking it up to, she's trying to get it to the cradle, but she's not being able to move it as well as I think she'd like. But she does keep staying behind and riding strong while still being aggressive. She's broken down. Herod again.
Should try to work to turn her and get a pin here as the first period winds down.
All right. You said it as it's winding down. She's out a little bit to the side, moves right back behind. Good decision, and there's the end of the first period with Addie Crakes having that 2-0 lead over Kimura Herod.
Yeah, good first period for her. A lot of match left, of course, if you're Herod, and only down 2. I didn't see who. I think they picked neutral. I thought Herod won the toss.
I actually thought it was Crakes. But
okay. Either way, they're neutral.
Coin flip. Yes, that's correct. They're in neutral position. Herod heavy on the head. Crakes trying to get that left leg. She does have now she's got a good shot on it. She's got it off the ground. Can't seem.
Out of bounds, though, right?
Out of bounds. Yeah. Couldn't seem to finish it when Herod held on to that whizzer pretty well.
Fireman roll, whizzer, double bar. You're teaching me some stuff today, Michael.
I'm trying.
Thanks, man.
Herod seems much more content on the upper body. Crakes has gotten in on the shot. Herod's got the head and wing, though. And turns her over to it.
Herod
takes her to her back.
We're tied, and Herod looking for more here.
Kimura's got her on her back and getting back points. Looking to try and finish. She's actually in really pretty good pinning position. She's not too high. A little bit. I'd probably recommend sinking back a tiny bit, but she is in pretty good position. She's got that head really, really tight.
And if she can turn those feet.
That's not as important as getting those shoulders down.
Okay.
You can still keep the feet on the mat.
Right. You can put your knee in her armpit. Right.
But that's a long time to fight.
Oh, there it is.
And there it is.
Well.
So Winters Mill Winners Mills, Kimora Herod.
First one today for Winners Mill, correct?
I believe it is. Wins County Championship. Good show of sportsmanship by both ladies over Addie Crakes of Francis Scott Key with looks like about a 301 pinfall.
Yep. And you know, kudos to Crakes had a good match. Kudos to Herod, down 2-0.
Absolutely.
Comes back, doesn't let her head hang, and gets the job done in the second period.
Absolutely, she did a great job.
Yeah.
Tried to go for a headlock early in the first period, got countered by Crakes, and then instead went to a head and wing in the second period, turned it to her back, got in great pinning position. She really had that head locked tight.
Yeah, you said.
Was such a huge benefit. Got herself in a nice perpendicular position and put her shoulders down the mat. Won her first county championship for the sophomore.
And gives John Lowe one of the girls' county titles. We're back over to co-ed now, 170. We're going to see Jake Boog from Manchester Valley against Matthew Pauley of Winners Mill. But before we do, we'll see how they got there. Boog and Pauley both winning their semifinal matches. For Boog, it was a victory over Landon Hicks, a first period pin. For the senior and reigning state champion from last year, 4A, 3A, is Jake Boog. And Pauley was able to get a victory over Westminster's Gavin Teitelbaum. It went into the third period late before Pauley sealed the shoulders, got the pin. So it's Boog and Pauley for the 170 co-ed final. I misspoke. Boog was a 2A, 1A state champ, not a 4A.
Correct.
That's the old days. Man Valley was 4A, 3A. Stuck in my brain. But we mentioned the South Carroll guys, and rightfully so. Jake Boog, I won't even say quietly, but Jake Boog, really, really good senior season. He's the favorite here in this 170-pound class.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Jake's got a 42-2 record. Senior, as you mentioned, he's a returning state champ. I think he was second actually in his region last year.
He was.
He lost to a wrestler from Glenelg, who he then defeated in the state finals. Jake's had a great career for the Manchester Valley Mavericks, and looking to build on that. And he's not avoided anybody throughout the time. In fact, he wrestled in the dual meet. He wrestled AJ Rodriguez. He lost that match, but they could have avoided each other.
Yeah.
They decided the two of them, or the coaches, and in conjunction with the students' cooperation, they put them against each other. They wanted everybody wants to wrestle the best, and it's a great benefit to our students when they do take on that strong competition.
That was cool to see, though. They both sort of wanted to do it. It happened to be the last match of the night. Let's do it and see how we go from there.
And Jake's a returning county champ. Pauley's second? I believe took second at the Falcon Invitational this year. So it looks to be a good matchup. I would certainly, as you said, I would agree that Jake Boog should be the favorite in this match. But that's why we wrestle him.
And we're going to do it right now. Jake Boog, Matthew Pauley. Let's see the 160-pound final.
All right, Pauley's going to be in the black singlet.
170-pound final, my fault. That was AJ Rodriguez at 160. Forgive me.
And Boog in the blue with white stripe of Man Valley.
Pauley mostly 182 during the season, 4-2 in the regular season. And like Michael mentioned, Boog, for the most part, 170 all year, 5-1 during the season, 27 pins going into the tournament, and over 40 wins. So a really, really fine finale for Jake Boog that he wants to obviously add more titles to, but off to a good start here.
Pauley's trying to work an underhook to the far leg. Boog throws him a bit with the over, countering it, and they're back out of bounds again for a restart.
We haven't said this yet, but I'll just, obviously, Michael, you confirm it. The point's going to be scored within the outer white ring of the mat, correct?
For the most part. If you've got some
You're right.
supporting points on the inside, you can still score points.
And if your feet are in, there's also...
Great shot and finish by Jake Boog right into the takedown, and there he's going right for his cradle right away. That far side cradle. And I think he might have it. Yes, he does. And that gives Jake Boog his second straight county championship this year at 170 pounds.
Made quick work of Matthew Pauley, taking nothing away from Pauley, but Jake Boog, who we just talked up a little bit, rightfully so. Impressive victory there as he starts his postseason with a bang.
Absolutely. He's, he's not content with that state championship that he won last year.
Right.
He wants to add to it, and He certainly is in good position. He's had a great year to this point.
And wants to prove that, hey, that wasn't a fluke. I lost to that kid in regionals. I beat him in the state tournament. Maybe people think, well, he just had a bad day. Boog wants to make sure that everyone else knows that's not the case.
Correct. And Jake's just had a great year and a great career. And I think this does help give him some momentum moving forward into the regionals and we hope the state tournament.
We're actually going to stay with co-ed here. We're going to go to 182, and it's going to be South Carroll's Ryland Moose, who is the fourth of 4 for South Carroll, going for that 4th county title. He'll be wrestling Gunnar Grimm in the championship. Let's go ahead and see how these two gentlemen, young gentlemen, got into the final. Ryland Moose took care of Francis Scott Key's Adam Knox with a quick first period pin. And so Moose now going after that county title number 4, thanks to that pin. And you got Gunnar Grimm of Man Valley, who wrestled JT Ferguson of Century in the semifinal. And Grimm in the 3rd period was able to finish off Ferguson. So a couple of pins for the 2 finalists. And we are going to get back into their match in 1 second. We've reached the 4th of the 4 for South Carroll.
Yes.
And, Ryland Moose doesn't get talked about a little bit against those other guys, only because he doesn't have the state championships that the other 3 do. He's a heck of a wrestler for South Carroll in the heavyweight division.
Ryland's one of the heavier wrestlers. Yeah, he's not a heavyweight, but he is. And he's unfortunately sometimes the forgotten senior for South Carroll, because Ryland has had just an outstanding year.
Yeah.
I think he's now ranked number 1 in the state as well, having defeated his opponent from Mount St. Joe when they wrestled in that dual meet.
Yep.
But he was a state runner-up last year, and anytime we're talking about someone going for 4 county championships, that's not a slouch. He didn't win 3 of them by mistake.
No, he didn't.
He won 3 of them because he's an outstanding wrestler. And I do think one of the issues is he sometimes gets to be forgotten among that quartet.
Sure.
But take nothing away from him. Ryland Moose is an outstanding wrestler.
Absolutely.
And he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And another one who's strong, ridiculously strong, and but also very technically sound, and just continues to propel and push it. And he's he's going to be wrestling next year at Marymount University. So and he's an outstanding wrestler. And he's fun to watch. And let's get to the match.
Let's do it. 182. Ryland Moose, Matthew Pauly.
Gunnar Grimm.
Gunnar Grimm, excuse me.
It's all good. Gunnar Grimm's a junior with a 20-15 record. Moose is a senior with a 40-2 record.
And we just had Matthew Pauly. He was on my brain there for a second. And, the strength from Moose, it's not just brute strength, like you said. It is strength, don't get me wrong, but he is a wrestler under there, under those muscles. And a very good one at that.
Sometimes you get people who are just muscular and know a couple muscle moves. Yep. Ryland is also incredibly technical to go with his strength. So he's not a muscle wrestler. He's a wrestler with muscle.
There you go. And off the bat here, he's already trying to score some points against
Correct. He's got a nice tilt. Has Grimm right to his back. Right for a 3-point near fall, and that puts him up 5-0. Now he's looking to use that bar and take him over, and now he's got Grimm on his back again.
Hear the crowd cheering for Moose, like they do at South Carroll.
And there you go. There's the pin in 1 minute, 6 seconds. Ryland Moose becomes the 4th South Carroll wrestler this evening.
That's pretty
to
impressive.
Win 4 county championships.
That is pretty impressive. Hearing you say it, I've said it a couple times, and now it can be said that they went 4 for 4. I mean, hats off to Coach Winfield, Coach Hamper, Coach Rodriguez, South Carroll. But the guys that go out there on the mat have to do it, and they've proved themselves worthy 4-time county champions.
Yes. The coaches can only put them in positions to be successful. It's the students ultimately who are the success on the mat. The coaches have prepared them and done a great job of getting them to that point.
Right.
But really, hats off to Gage Owen, Michael Pizzuto, AJ Rodriguez, and Ryland Moose for each of them winning 4 county championships. It's hard to look past that, or it's hard to overstate how impressive that feat is.
Absolutely.
Especially when you mentioned the only time we had teammates before was three years when there were 2 of them. We've had 4 years with 4 of them. It's just, I'm sorry to beat a dead horse, but it's not something we see.
It's special.
It is.
Special
It's
with all four
incredibly
of those
special.
guys. Congratulations.
To have them all on one team, really great, and hats off to the Cavaliers.
No doubt. We're heading to 155, going right to the final on the girls' side. Katie Martin of Manchester Valley, Maria Arboleda, so it's a mouthful, Francis Scott Key. We had an Arboleda earlier with a county championship, and FSK will go for a second one, but Katie Martin is trying to repeat, and actually from this weight class a year ago at 155.
Yeah, Katie was first place at the Falcon Invitational, first place at the Husky Open. She was the county champ last year. She was a regional champ last year, and she took third at the States.
Wow, impressive.
She's a senior with a 16-1 record. She's taken on a junior in Maria Arboleda, who's an 8-2 record and was the Falcon Invite runner-up. I don't know if they were in the same weight class. I don't have those brackets in front of me. But Katie Martin has been a 4-year wrestler, been here kind of part of that first group of wrestlers with Manchester Valley.
With Summer Shacklefords.
4 years ago. And goes right for the headlock, but Arboleda really countered it well.
It's a nice
got
move
a nice
there.
takedown there.
But yeah, you mentioned Katie Martin. She is a name synonymous with the girls program over there at Man Valley. When it started as just let's wrestle for fun and see how it goes, and now here they are in county championship situations. It's just fun to see.
Yes.
Nice job by Arboleda there.
It was a really nice counter, and Katie Martin gets up and gets an escape. Arboleda, I think, knew that headlock was coming from Katie and countered it really, really well.
Good job by Katie Martin to get back on her feet. You don't want to stay on your back for too long, especially in these county finals. Just bad things happen. And we see John Lowe moseying by.
That's what we'll call it.
Preparing for his next matchup.
All right, and that's a quick stall on Arboleda that official feels she's not doing anything to improve her position. A little bit of a shot. Katie has a decent sprawl and a little bit of a front headlock and nice spin behind, which puts her now in the lead 3-2.
It's an official's discretion. Some officials will go to the stall warning quicker just to try to encourage the wrestling the action to continue.
Absolutely, but some are much more stringent of you need to be actively moving to improve your position.
Fair, yeah, fair.
If you're not working to improve your position, you are stalling.
Right.
And officials don't mind calling that.
Right.
And I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we need is to increase the action in the sport sometimes.
You want to see consistency, of course. You don't want to see one official call it in 10 seconds and one call it in 2 minutes. But so we got a 3-2 score here at the end of the first period.
Looks like Katie Martin won the coin flip, won the toss.
And I think she's in the lead, correct?
She is in the lead, and she's going to take bottom, which puts Maria Arboleda on top. Martin's trying a bit of an outside stand-up. Arboleda's draped over that arm. She probably wants to be under the arm to get better position.
And looks like they gave her the escape.
Yep. There's the escape now.
So 4-2 now, Katie Martin.
Yep.
Trying to add a second career Carroll County title while Maria Arboleda is going for number 1.
Correct. And both are fighting for that hand position on the other hand, with one over the head. Arboleda's trying to block a little bit with her left hand.
I was going to say, hopefully one day we'll see a girl. Well, we will see, I think, a girl go for her 4th. That'll be fun to see as well.
That would be a nice shot
from
Katie Martin.
Yes, sir.
Now she's circling around. She's trying to keep Arboleda's hips on the mat.
That's
there's her 2 for the takedown. Now,
put her in a tough spot. Yep.
Probably should have let go a little bit earlier than she did.
Yep.
She now has Katie Martin putting her to her back, and there's the pinfall.
And like you said, right there on the edge of the mat, she stayed in bounds and got the pin. Congratulations, Katie Martin, second period pin over Maria Arboleda, and that's a second career county title. And little adversity right away. Arboleda scores first.
Yep.
Martin does let it get to her. She goes about her business and gets the victory there with the pin. Nice job by Man Valley.
Just a great win for Katie Martin.
Yeah.
Good job for her. Exciting to see. Exciting to see her get get another county championship along with some of her teammates. That Manchester Valley girls program has really been impressive today, as has Francis Scott Key.
Yeah.
Across the board. Manchester Valley has really, I think, been dominant in these finals. in most of the matchups, and Katie Martin is no exception to that. And she got that nice second period pin.
She did. We're going to stick with girls and go to 170, where Joyce Babo is going to be wrestling Francis Scott of Winters Mill is wrestling Francis Scott Key's Madison Dayhoff. We're going to see how those two girls got to the championship finals with their semifinal victories. And Joyce wrestled a teammate, Alyssa Glenn of Winters Mill, and it was a first period pin for Joyce. So she goes on to her, I believe, her first county final.
I believe that's correct.
And she'll be wrestling Madison Dayhoff of FSK, who went the distance with Jackie Martinez of Winters Mill, but was able to come away with a 2-0 win. And she got that first period takedown and then held on the rest of the way to win 2-0. So pretty impressive for Dayhoff. And she's going to be wrestling Winters Mill and Babo there in the final. Again, we mentioned FSK, another finalist here. And again, we have John Lowe with one of his girls back in the final. Should be a good one, so let's go ahead and get to it. At 170 pounds, you got Babo of Winters Mill and Dayhoff of Francis Scott Key.
And Babo is a senior. She was third at the Falcon Invite.
Okay.
And Maddie Dayhoff is a sophomore.
Wow, all right.
Part of that growing Francis Scott Key program.
Yeah.
And Babo part of that also growing Winters Mill program.
Look how Babo wants to try to get engaged right away with a unique approach.
Somewhat chasing her around the mat.
Yeah.
Dayhoff's going to need to be careful to not continually be backing up, because you can get a quick stall call if you're constantly playing on the edge.
That's a smart move then for a wrestler to sort of come at the other one with that approach. At least, like you said, if you start to flee, you're going to get called for that stall.
Certainly.
It's unique, but it can work, I guess. And now we see some tie up here between the two.
Yep. I was trying to gain position. All right, and Babo looks like she's got. Oh. There's her two for the takedown. Nice job.
Did you have records, Michael, on the two girls?
Yes. Maddie Dayhoff is 6-6, and Joyce and Babo is 10-5 on the year.
Okay. And you mentioned Joyce. She's up 2-0 here as we head into that second. Oh, nice escape,
Dayhoff
though.
with the escape.
Yeah, nice job by Madison Dayhoff.
Certainly looks like Mbabo has been the aggressor.
Yes.
Dayhoff, I don't think is purposely playing to the edge, but it tends to be where Mbabo is driving her.
She's making her go there, right? Yeah, no doubt. And that's the approach that she wants to do, that she's been taught by John Lowe and the coaching staff. And first period's winding down, and she still has that lead, but it's 2-1 after we saw Dayhoff with the escape a couple seconds ago.
Again, Dayhoff needs to be careful being on the edge of the mat so often. Fortunately, it hasn't hit her yet.
Right.
But you need to be careful and show some movement to improving her position and being a bit aggressive. And there's the end of one.
Yep. Am I correct, Mike? I'm sorry, am I correct that the officials will encourage the wrestlers to work to the middle, work to the center? I've heard referees and officials be yelling that verbally to the wrestlers. They want them to be trying to be right in the center of the mat.
Yes. All right. So Dayhoff won the toss, and she decided to defer, and Babo took the bottom position to start the second period.
Yep. And with that 2-1 lead. Oh.
And that puts her.
Let's make it. Ooh.
And she went right. Looks like
didn't
right
even need the escape.
Reversal.
She's trying for a reversal.
Yep.
She gets it.
There's her 2-point reversal. That puts her up 4-1. Looks like she's trying to maintain positioning.
Yep. Scoring early here for.
Careful not to lock her hands. Riding well, really keeping the hips low, keeping Dayhoff in difficult position.
On top and in the lead here at 4-1.
Yep, and Babo's definitely taking a good position right there. Riding well, continually working to improve. Got to be careful she doesn't lock her hands there. With Dayhoff's hands on the mat, that would be an illegal lock. Once her hands come off the mat, it's not.
Looks like she's kept away from the penalty point.
Yeah, she did, and she's back on top. Again, a good ride. I think she may want to be a bit careful that she's not just riding parallel the entire time. Officials don't like that when the top person does that. Top wrestler, okay, good crossface. I'm thinking she's going to maybe go for that far side cradle that we've seen in so many matches tonight.
We have seen a lot of those cradles.
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
It is not. It's a painful cradle, and it's really, really effective if you can lock it up.
Yep.
And some of our best wrestlers in this county are really strong with it.
Yes, do it well. Like you said, we've already seen several today.
Dayhoff is fighting it off really well also. Looks like we're winding down late in the second period, and there's the end of 2, which puts Joyce and Bebo with a 4-1 lead. And Dayhoff has all the choices, and looks like she's going to take the bottom position to start the third period. She's down 4-1.
Yep. You see John Lowe giving some encouragement to Bebo, trying to tell her what she might expect here as Dayhoff tries to get up and then score more. And right away went to that ankle pick.
Yes, she did. Went right to the ankle to break her down.
Yep, that was a good job by Mbebo.
She's got a nice crossface, which looks like she's trying to run that head to the knee. Nope, take that back. She's running it tight.
She was trying to get that cradle again?
I think that's what she's trying to do.
Yeah, she's in a weird
I
position.
think she needs to do is try and run the head to the knee, not the knee to the head. The head's a lot weaker, so you're able to move the top half of the body a lot easier than the bottom half.
Correct.
So she certainly wants to work from that position. She needs to be careful not to lock hands. She's back on, and she takes Dayhoff back down to the mat again.
Except me, maybe. My head's pretty big. It might be a draw between my knees and my head. But
that's a good point.
I'm also not a county wrestler. But yeah, good job by Mbebo to keep her established position.
Yes.
Up 4-1 now as we are 1 minute away from the end of this match. And Bebo trying to hang on here and try for her first.
And there's the escape for Dayhoff.
Yeah, so hold on then, 4-2.
She is she's a takedown away from tying this up.
That is true.
But she needs to be more aggressive. She can't she has no time to really play around.
Right. Don't want to be prowling the mat. You want to be attacking Bebo's legs. Good job by,
And Bebo goes right and
I was just going to say.
Driving the head down and heavy on it.
Probably smart as we go under 30 seconds. Dayhoff's got to think about scoring here soon to try to tie this thing up.
It looks like she's trying to get a little more aggressive now, but she's still, looking for openings that Mbebo is simply not giving her.
Right, and Mbebo's in command here. She can basically get a stall warning and nothing bad's going to happen here. And I think Joyce Mbebo is going to run this clock out. And that's it. Joyce Mbebo outlasts Madison Dayhoff 4-2 to win the county title, and I believe it's her first.
That it is. So good for Joyce Mbebo.
Yeah, and another Winners Mill champion.
Correct.
So John Lowe's girls bunch getting it done there with another girls title, and we're getting close to the end of the finals here. There's still a few matches to go, but good to see, like you mentioned, some of the same techniques on the co-ed side also being used on the girls side. So both tournaments being competed the same way.
Absolutely, and I think one of the things that we want to recognize is the time and effort that our coaches have put in to not just, to ensuring that our girls are getting the same level of instruction and having separate girls coaches, and the programs continue to build, but the technique is very similar. They're using the exact same techniques that we're seeing on the co-ed side, and it's great to see. The coaches are putting in. I was a wrestling coach, so I can certainly understand the time and commitment it takes.
Sure.
It is a long year.
Sure.
When you think just the postseason itself is 3 straight weekends, then there's at least 3 more 2-day weekends of wrestling.
Yes.
It's a lot through the year. There's a lot of hours, and the amount of time and effort our coaches put into this really is such a huge benefit to our students, and you can see how it's paying off.
Absolutely. Let's get back into the co-ed side of things. 195, we're going to have Manny Rodriguez from South Carroll going up against Dylan Rubin. Let's see how both of these young men got to the final. Dylan Rubin of Liberty, and we're going to see Manny Rodriguez first take care of Manchester Valley's Braden Foreman in his semifinal match right at the end of the second period that Manny won with a pin to advance. He's the top seed, got a bye in the first round. Dylan Rubin was the 2 seed, and he also got a bye, and he went at it with Gabe Dell of Francis Scott Key in their semifinal into the 3rd period before Rubin was able to pick up a pin and advance to the 195 championship match. Manny Rodriguez, the 3rd of the brothers Rodriguez that made it to the final. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the pedigree quite yet of his older brother, but he's off to a really good start here in his career as the top seed here, as one of South Carroll's 8 top seeds, and the favorite to win 195.
Yeah, Manny's he's a sophomore with a 36-3 record. Was, I think, 3rd in the county last year. Has had a really great year. His weight is also, he's another one. South Carroll's moved a lot of their wrestlers up and down throughout the lineup to try and put them in the best position for success.
Yep.
Now they feel that his best position for postseason success puts him at 195 pounds, and it's exciting to see what's going to happen. But he's really an outstanding sophomore. Dylan's a junior who's 26-6.
Yeah.
Another really good wrestler in his own right. So it should be an exciting final.
Let's get into it. 195, Manny Rodriguez from South Carroll and Dylan Rubin of Liberty. Manny 6-0 in the regular season in the county. Rubin 4-1. And like Michael said, Manny, a sophomore, had some good postseason experience last year, and he's really made that next level step for South Carroll. And there's a quick takedown already as Rodriguez leads 2-0 over Rubin at 195.
Yeah, Manny's very technically sound. Plus, he's
big.
He's a big sophomore. He's a strong sophomore.
He is, yes. And again, like a lot of the other wrestlers, and especially at South Carroll, technically very sound.
Yes.
When he needs to be. Of course, you're going to use your size and your strength to your advantage here, but he knows how to get out of a skate. He knows how to get out of holds. He knows how to be technical on his feet. So.
Yeah, great scramble here. Manny's just continuing to push. Dylan's trying to work out from bottom. Manny's really strong on top. He's got both the wrists tied up really well, and you can see that Dylan is trying to counter and just not able to get away from it.
2-0 here as we go into that second half of the first period. Manny is a tough customer.
Yes.
Stalemate there, called by the official.
Yep. So we're late in the first period. Dylan Rubin is on bottom. Manny Rodriguez on top. Again, working that same type of thing, working heavy on that head, keeping the hips down on the mat, locking up that leg, which prevents, looks like he's started to work to that far side cradle, which I feel like we've said once or twice.
Spoiler alert, far side cradle. First period winding down, and Rodriguez will look to take the 2-0 lead into the break. For the wrestling novice, 2-minute periods, of course. 3 periods long, unless you need to go to overtime, and then
correct.
And it's a series of tie-breaking criteria rules after that. But this one has Rodriguez starting the second period on the bottom, and Dylan will be up top. So, nice job by Rodriguez trying to get to his feet and right away. Immediately
takes him right down
reversal
to the sack.
and some near fall points here. Nice job by Manny Rodriguez.
Rubin keeping that near shoulder up just enough.
But damage done there by Manny Rodriguez.
Just a quick move and a powerful move all at once.
Absolutely. And now he's up. Oh yeah.
Puts him in great position, up 7-0.
Yeah. I was going to say, not a bad start from being on the bottom, not a leapy on top, leading 7-0.
Again, you can see it goes right back to tying up those arms.
Yep. To try to work down the bottom. Got the leg in too, of course. So
he's got the leg hooked a little bit.
Hooked, right now.
But he's tying up the arms, which is preventing Ruben from getting any sort of pace. Now, there the official felt that Manny was not doing anything other than riding parallel.
Okay.
He was not really improving his position. He was pretty much just coasting. And that's when he called him for neutral, or he called him for a stall.
Stall warning, right?
And Manny, rather than put himself in position for another stall, says, let's go right back to the feet. So he gives Dylan Rubin the one escape point.
Pretty smart.
And they start from neutral.
Yeah, smart wrestling. Manny a little more lethal, I think, on his feet here. At least that's what he feels.
He feels comfortable, I think, mostly in bottom position and in top. He can ride really, or bottom position and neutral. He can ride really well in top. But I think in this particular match, based on what Dylan Rubin was showing him, I think he was getting a little frustrated and kind of, I don't want to say coasting, but at least in the official's opinion, was not doing enough to improve his position.
Not working.
So rather than open himself up for another stall in that same position, he said, let's go back to neutral, where I think he feels very comfortable.
Second period winding down, and Rodriguez with the 7-1 lead. The 1 point Rodriguez allowed on his own, so he is near perfect here so far.
Yep.
In this match.
Rubin with a nice shot. Rodriguez is countering it, and then takes it out of bounds.
Almost a takedown there from Rubin.
It was close.
Yeah, late in the second period. But again, there's some of that technique from Manny. And the final seconds of the second period tick down. Manny's strong. Dylan Rubin, no slouch as I see him prowling around here on the mat.
Yep.
Pretty strong young man.
And Dylan Rubin decides to take neutral.
You're down by 6. You're hoping that you can just catch something here. And if you're Manny, the strategy is to be smart. Don't get caught up in any move here in the final minute and 40.
And that's a takedown for Manny Rodriguez. It's like the two of them got a little bit aggressive, going out of bounds.
A little aggressive, yeah.
Need to sometimes keep themselves in check, remember, not to maintain their composure. While we haven't had this, this is now part of the state tournament series.
Okay.
If a student should do enough to get a flagrant misconduct and be ejected from this, their season is now over.
Wow.
They cannot compete in the regionals nor the states. And I'm not in any way suggesting this is happening.
Sure.
Just sharing that as general information.
Yeah, no, that's good to know.
But,
because
wrestling's a very emotional sport.
Absolutely.
And any number of things can get people ejected.
Yeah,
sometimes it's inappropriate behavior, sometimes it's inappropriate language.
Right. You got to know where you are. You got to have your head about you here,
absolutely.
Right?
So, it's an aggressive and emotional sport, but at the same time, it needs to be under control.
Yeah, you're wrestling with each other. The one individual's frustrated, he can't score. The other individual's frustrated, he hasn't been able to pin him yet. So there's a lot of, like you said, emotions do run high in some of these matches.
Now we got another escape from Rubin. Rodriguez let him up, so now we're at 9-2 with just under a minute remaining in the match. Rubin's going to need pretty much a pin in order to win this match now. So he's got to probably be significantly more aggressive, maybe even, expose himself to making a mistake to try and go for a big move. It's one of the things, as a coach, used to say, you got to go big now.
Okay.
Because really, the only thing he's got left is to put Rodriguez onto his back. There's a stall. There's the second stall on Rodriguez, which makes it 9-3, followed by a quick takedown by Rodriguez. Just throws him right to the side. Now he's up 11-3.
Yep.
Under 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Manny Rodriguez is going to close this out and be the third Rodriguez.
Third in the finals.
Third in the finals. 2 champions?
2 champions.
That's correct. Yeah. Prematurely giving one to Anthony, I forgot.
Yep.
AJ and Manny. Still, though, 3 brothers in the finals, pretty impressive, and 2 champions.
Yep.
And here are the final few seconds as Manny Rodriguez is going to beat Dylan Rubin 11-3. And become a county champion.
Yep, and with a major decision, Manny Rodriguez wins his first county championship in his sophomore year.
Pretty impressive from the young man. And again, like we mentioned, the 3 brothers in the finals, 2 champs. Not much else to be said about South Carroll's performance here today. We're running out of some matches. We're running out of voice a little bit here. We're going to try to get back into it here and get into the 220 co-ed final between Manchester Valley's Crew Boog And Century's Nick Ellis. This should be a good one. Let's see how they got there first between Boog and Ellis, how they got to the final at 2:20. Crew Boog took care of Logan Brightful of South Carroll in a first period pin. Michael will tell you a little bit about Crew and his great season so far. And also Nick Ellis from Century, who the team didn't maybe have the best of seasons, but there were some individuals this year from Century that shined, and Nick Ellis was one of them. He went up against Jacob Dell of Francis Scott Key in the semifinal, and they went into the third period in a tight match before Ellis was able to secure a pin.
Absolutely.
But a pretty good semifinal between the two competitors there. I like Nick Ellis. I've seen him wrestle a little bit. I like the way he does it. It's going to be tough against Crew Boog. Crew Boog, one of Jake Boog's younger brother, bigger brother. Really sound wrestler.
Yeah, Crew was a freshman county champ last year, I think at 195.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of freshmen winning in those upper weights, so good on him. Excuse me.
Okay.
Then he went on to finish 4th in the region last year. Did not qualify for the states based on the smaller regions from last year. Nick Ellis was 3rd in the regions, also missed the state tournament last year.
Right.
He was 3rd in the counties last year and did win the FSK Invitational. Crew's got a 29-2 record as a sophomore. Nick Ellis is a senior with a 29-5 record. So both have quality wins on the season, have taken on good competition. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it works out.
And we will see it right now. Crew Boog from Man Valley and Nick Ellis of Century at 220 pounds. You got Crew Boog in the Manchester Valley blue and silver. And Nick Ellis in the Century black, I think.
It is. Black with a little
hint of green.
And maybe a hint of
Gold?
Sure.
All those Century's colors, right? Like you mentioned, though, Michael, I mean, Crew, cool name, but it's more than just a cool name, right? He's a really, really good wrestler.
Yes.
From a good athletic family.
Yep.
We know about Jake Boog, quarterback of the football team. Crew played football as well, and he already has a county title to his resume, and he's off to a really good high school wrestling career.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the 40 wins, 39 wins, and the pins. I mean, he's a pinner as well at these heavy weights, and there we go right off the bat. Well, we're a minute into the match anyway, that Crew Boog gets the first takedown of Nick Ellis. Far side of the mat there, but still points were scored. And Boog, the other set of brothers now in the county finals.
Crew trying to match the Rodriguez brothers with 2 brothers.
That's right.
With 2 brothers winning county titles.
It's not rare in Carroll County. A lot of families are wrestling families. We mentioned the Thomases. There have been a lot of Kylers. There have been a lot of Boogs. And on it goes. A lot of Owings, a lot of Yingers. I'm going back into the 80s and 90s archives there. Owings.
Dells.
Dells, right. We can go on and on. I think there were some Myers in there too, but
Eckenbarger.
there you go.
I've got a couple Ohlers.
Ohlers, that's true. There were 2 more. Well, Ryan was last year. No Duffys, no Stoetzers, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
We're saving our strength for us another time.
That's
but anyway, we're watching Crew Boog sort of take command of this match with Ellis, really trying to get himself in a position to pin, but Ellis is going to be.
But Ellis is countering
well. I was going to say, yeah.
With all that, and I would say Crew Boog has dominated this match. It's still only 2-0 after the first period.
Yep. Crew the aggressor on the scoring, and then just sort of did his best to work on Ellis, but Ellis did a good job defensively.
Ellis wins the flip and defers. Boog then takes the bottom position.
So Boog up 2-0. Again, 2-minute period, so we're into the second period now on the whistles, on the referee's whistle. And a nice job by Boog.
Nice switch by Boog, which now puts him up 4-0.
Right off the whistle too, Michael. Really nice, fat. Sometimes you don't think of the bigger guys as fast, but that was a nice, fast move from Crew Boog.
Yes, he did. It was really quick and well executed.
Yeah.
And now he gets to be, use his strength and his weight to try and keep Ellis down, and then hope to turn him.
Looked like he was trying for a cradle there for a second.
Go figure.
The unsung hero of the tournament, the far side cradle.
Yes.
Boog working on Ellis right in the
tight
middle
on
of the
that
net.
wrist, trying to put the wrist on the back.
Oh,
now he's trying to drive him over.
I saw that, yeah.
But arm slipped out.
It just can't be easy when you got two guys that big.
Correct.
Who are also talented, who are also skilled. I mean,
Yeah.
Boog's in command here, but Ellis does not want to get turned, and he's going to do everything he can to keep off his back.
I think far too often the upper weights don't get enough credit
Yeah, I would
for
agree
the
with
amount
you.
of technique they do have. Ryland Moose is one we mentioned
Sure.
earlier. People look at him and think, oh, he's just a muscle wrestler, but he's very technical. Krubug's similar. He doesn't win just because he's big and strong.
Right.
He does have a lot of technique.
No, I have no doubt about that.
And when you have the bigger wrestlers who can wrestle more like some of the smaller
Yeah.
wrestlers, some of the lighter weights, really is a dangerous combination for their opponents.
So more well balanced, right? When
Absolutely.
You're that kind of a wrestler at 220 or
He's
2.
back to that arm, pushing.
Oh, Ellis might go.
Bar, and yeah, that's not a position Ellis wants to
No,
find
it's
himself
not.
in. Boog needs to make sure he's got him tight. You see he's off his knees, and there you go. There's the pinfall.
Crew Boog seals the deal, and that's county title number 2, and also the second one today for the Boog brothers.
Correct.
So congratulations to Crew Boog, who tops Nick Ellis in the second period pin there, and gives Manchester Valley's boys another county champion. We've mentioned the skill of the big guys as opposed to the lighter weights.
Yeah.
Crew's definitely a prime example of a guy who's got the size, the strength, and the technique.
Absolutely, and you can see as he won his second county championship in 2 years, that's an impressive feat. We've seen some others who have, he's on his path, I think, towards trying to secure more county championships, but obviously taking one at a time, and good job for both the Boog brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're headed to girls again now. I think it's actually the final girls championship of the night at 2:35. It's Winters Mills' Roan McCulley and Manchester Valley's Zoe Lease. Right to the finals we go.
All right, Zoe Lease in the blue with white stripe of Manchester Valley, Rowan McCauley in the black singlet, black undershirt from Winters Mill.
And I haven't said this, maybe if I did it, I apologize. The reason we're going right to some of these finals is because there were only 2 girls in the bracket.
Correct.
So if we didn't have any semifinal previews, that's because it was just McCulley and Lease, just like a couple matches earlier. So I thought I might have said that once, but if I didn't, that's my mistake. Just want to get right to the final and see how this match shakes out between the reigning county champion, Rowan McCulley.
Yeah, Zoe Lease is a freshman.
Wow.
Who took first place at the Husky Open, and Rowan is a senior from Winters Mill, who's a 2-time county champ. Looking for a third one.
Good for Lease to be a freshman and come out swinging the way she has this year.
And she's, let's see, Rowan's working a nice power half, trying to work to turn her.
So Rowan's a 2-time county champion.
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
That's the information I was provided.
Hey, that's okay. You're the county AD. I trust you.
And Rowan's got Zoe Lease on her back, and there you go.
Wow.
There's your pinfall.
So there you go. So make it 3 for Rowan McCulley. Very impressive for the Winters Mill Falcon grappler. And again, we've seen a couple of these teams bring their A games on the girls' side and the co-ed side, of course, too.
Absolutely.
But congratulations to McCulley. That's impressive. 3. I was thinking last year being the first. I guess there were some county champions.
Yes.
The season before that, it just wasn't a full bracket.
Correct.
But there were some matches. So great on Rowan for being a 3-time county champ.
Absolutely.
Pretty
good
impressive.
for her.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, again, the growth of girls wrestling, the growth across all the weight classes for girls wrestling. And it's exciting.
Guess what? We got one match left.
All righty, let's get to it.
Before we do, we're just going to tell you it's Westminster's Randy Green against Man Valley's Derek Martin. Let's see how both of the heavyweights got to the championship match by winning their semifinals. We'll talk about Randy Green in a second, but he has had a really, really good season for Westminster. Here you see him taking care of Declan Logan in the second period with a pin. So Randy got the job done there. And then his opponent, Derek Martin from Manchester Valley, actually has 2 victories today, both pins. And the semifinal match against Century's Chidima Ziogo was a pin as well in the first period. As you see Derek Martin take care of his opponent there. I just wanted to set that up because I know Randy Green, one of the other really good wrestlers this year that maybe didn't get a lot of publicity. Westminster as a team didn't have the best season, but I believe Randy only has one loss.
Correct.
He's one of the best records in the county. He's gone. Westminster won a heavyweight state title last year. You know Randy Green wants to add a second one. First things first, he's trying to get a county title here for the Owls.
He is. Randy's 40-1 on the year, and I actually saw the one loss, and it was they needed him to pin in order to win in the regional duels. So they had to put him in position to not necessarily just win the match. He had to get a pin.
Oh, I see.
And whereas he would have taken down and trying to get, I think, different strategy for different things. It wasn't just trying to win the match.
Yeah.
He needed a pin, and that was why he lost. It went away from his typical strategy in order to win the match, to try and win the dual meet. That said, he's had an outstanding year.
Absolutely.
He was county runner-up last year. Derek Martin, both are seniors. As I mentioned, Randy's 40-1. Derek's a senior with a 32-3 record. So it looks to be a great final between the two of them. And let's get right to it.
Last but not least, Randy Green and Derek Martin for the Carroll County Heavyweight Championship of the 2023 Varsity Tournament. So right away, the tie-ups between Green and Martin. Martin again in the Mavs singlet of the silver belt. Looks like a belt.
Yep. Green's given up a good bit of weight. Derek Martin is close to the 285 weight, and Randy's more of a lighter heavyweight, probably only around 225, 230.
So he's giving up some pounds. I believe they wrestled in their county duel during the season, and I remember memory serves that Green won. No, Green won.
Well,
I think he won by pin.
If they wrestled in the county duel, then Green would have had to have won, because I said, I already saw the one time he lost.
That is true. I was just thinking whether it was a pin or not. I believe it was. So Green was 5-0 during the regular season, and like Michael mentioned, came into this at 39-1, and he's now 40-1. And then Martin, 30 wins on the season and more than 25 pins. It was a pretty impressive year. 2 losses in the county, but a good wrestler in his own right. So no one scoring yet here in the first minute.
Yep, both trying to. Doesn't look like either one really wants to take a shot on the other. Both content to work upper body. Issue with taking a shot at heavyweight, you got a heavyweight sprawling on top of you, and that's a lot of weight to carry. So you'll see a lot of heavyweights who like to work upper body.
Yep.
And you'll see sometimes not a lot of scoring in finals.
Sure. Doesn't take away from what they're trying to do on the mat. Just sometimes points are at a premium here in these heavyweight finals. You know, we mentioned Westminster last year. Caden Bryan.
Yeah.
He was 4-3 on the fight. He was the very last match of the entire tournament.
Correct.
And we waited it out because they went to sudden victory. I think there was some Showplace Arena maintenance crew sweeping up behind us, but a great match that Bryan avenged a loss, his only loss from the season in that final. So I know Randy Green was watching, and I know he wants to try to get back there and win. But of course, first things first, like I said, he's trying to add a county championship to his resume. And that's the end of the first period with no scoring.
Scoreless first period. All the choices belong to Randy Green, and this is where I said this is one of those times where you take bottom for the hope of scoring that first point.
Okay. And let's see what happens here. Martin on top. Because they wrestled during the season, you wonder, Michael, you know, which wrestler is going to use that last match to his advantage, right?
Right.
Whether it's Green, hey, I got to pin against this kid, or Martin, hey, I got work to do because I was on my back. So far, it's a stalemate. No points being scored yet, but.
All right. Green with the escape.
First one goes to Green.
That first point.
And we're neutral again. I think already this match has gone longer than their first go-around, so that might be an edge to Martin, but Green has the win. Green has the first point, and he leads 1-0. After this match, we're going to check in on the final team scores, Michael, and we'll see which teams were crowned champion, and then we'll go ahead and give our final thoughts. But, of course, we have this match to get through first. I do appreciate you hanging in there. I know you're not 100% health-wise, but like a true wrestling aficionado, you came out for the finals, and we do appreciate it.
Happy to do so. I enjoy this part of it. Just trying to fight on through.
I know.
Looks like about close to a takedown by Martin. If he
can pull him back in.
Position.
And there it is.
He does.
Good job by Derek Martin, and that's a bit of a
he's got his back.
Randy Green, not a place he's been a lot this year.
Randy's fighting off his back really well. I got to give him credit.
That's
true. Great takedown by Derek Martin.
That really was.
And that gives him a 5-point move.
Big
that
turn
puts
of
him
events.
Up 5-1.
That's a big turn of events, Michael. Just because of the way Randy has been the top seed and had control of all these matches. Like you said, just the one loss, and there you go. There's an escape by Randy Green.
Okay, puts him back to 5-2.
Second period winding down. Not sure if they can score again here before the end of the period, and they can't. So a good job by Randy Green to get that escape, and you see right away, Martin wants neutral, but Derek Martin, great finish that second period.
Yeah. Really
good finish. Well, we mentioned it before the start. I mean, yes, Green was the 1 seed and the favorite, but Derek Martin, no slouch.
No, none at all.
We've been saying that a lot for the other opponent, no slouch, because there's not a lot of slouches in Carroll County.
Correct.
We know that everyone around here knows that. So neutral off the bat here to start the third period. And we got Randy Green trying to come back from a 5-2 deficit, and Derek Martin trying to hold on for his first county title. Both of these wrestlers would win a first county title, I believe.
That is correct.
If they win. Senior and the sophomore. Is that what we said?
Two seniors.
Two seniors, excuse me. Last one had a sophomore with a
correct
match. A couple of seniors, so the experience definitely a wash there with both veteran wrestlers. Not much going on here in this first half of the third period.
Randy's going to need something big.
But it could happen big with the heavyweights.
Oh, absolutely.
Bear hug, barrel roll, or whatever you want to call it. Get him to his back. Fireman's whizzer, is that a thing? Oh, I'm sorry to mix things up, sorry.
You're all good.
Sorry. It's getting late.
Understand.
So a good stalemate there probably with not much action going on. So Martin picked neutral, and I'm wondering if he just wanted to feel like he could ride this out. I mean, I know he wants to score. See how he's sort of keeping Green at bay.
Yep.
Green's got to start getting
the head. See, Green had to go for a shot.
He's going to have to here, right, Michael?
Yeah, he's going to have to do something.
Time's running out. We're under 30 seconds.
Yeah, now he's going to try for a headlock. He's really got no other choices.
Yeah, now he's in trouble.
But he's just not in position for it.
Yeah, he's in trouble there. And there's another takedown. Lock it up. And I think that does it. I think that's going to be a win for Derek Martin. That's a pretty impressive win from Derek Martin to go up against a kid who had just lost his first match last week.
Yeah.
Undefeated all year. And congratulations to Derek Martin of Manchester Valley. There it is.
And that will be another set of siblings winning county championships along with his sister Katie.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even think about that. 2 and 2. That's why you're here.
And I believe that is the first in Carroll County history
boys, girls,
brother, sister county champions.
How about that?
So
we saw a lot of history tonight.
We did. That was pretty exciting.
And that wraps up the championship finals of the 2023 Carroll County Wrestling Tournament. Michael, just before we see the final team scores and see which teams were first, I'll make it quick because I know we're losing our voices a little bit here. But we saw a lot of A-plus efforts tonight across the board. Girls, co-ed, South Carroll, Man Valley, FSK, Winters Mill. We saw a lot of really good wrestling tonight.
We did. We saw some great wrestling, and it just showcases how strong wrestling is in Carroll County. And it bodes well for the regions next week. We have schools spread across 3 regions in the state, and bodes well for the state tournament coming up in 2 weeks. It's really exciting and fun to see the work our students put in day after day after day, starting on November 15th.
Yes.
At least within the season.
Yes.
Not to mention all the hours they put in outside the season.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's great to see the fruits of their labor for both the coaches and our students. And as a wrestling fan, it's just exciting.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing more of it over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it was fun sitting here watching all the matches with you, and congratulations to all the individual champions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the girls' team standings and see which Carroll County team won the team title. I don't believe we've had have we had an official team champion yet on the girls' side?
We have never had a girls' team champion. This is the first one ever.
And
so the inaugural girls' team champion are the Eagles of Francis Scott Key High School.
And not taking anything away from Man Valley and Winters Mill, but Key brought 10 girls to the tournament and come with 126 points. That's really, really a nice, cool feather in the cap of Bill Heisen, a longtime coach at FSK who helped the girls team get together with his assistants as well.
Yep.
pretty special to have them come up here and be the first champion, one of the older programs, I should say, in the county's history, and they have their first girls team title.
It's pretty exciting.
It's pretty cool.
This is the first year they've had a larger team, and the work has paid off, and congratulations to them. So great job by the Eagles.
And runner-up Man Valley, the girls there.
Not by much.
No, not by much at all, yeah.
And just behind them was Winters Mill.
So all three of the teams we mentioned that had the most showing, of course,
Yes.
the most finalists paid off. Over to the co-ed side of things now. And I think it was already kind of a done deal before the finals got underway. And there it is. Yeah, South Carroll with 228 points cleared the field by a good bit, almost 50 points there of Man Valley. Just very impressive. South Carroll, back-to-back team titles now, the 11th in their program history. They had the 8 top seeds. They flexed the most muscle in this final. The Cavaliers got the job done, and Man Valley finished second.
A very dominant tournament for the Cavaliers. Man Valley was behind them, a good bit behind them, but well in front of everyone else, almost 100 points in front of the third-place team. So it was very clear who's number 1, very clear who's number 2, and 3 through 7 were closely bunched. So, you know, there is a good bit of parity, but we also have the two who stand above them. Yeah. But after that, it's a good bit of parity. Yep. But there's some really great wrestling in Carroll County.
Yeah, and we mentioned this. This is now the first weekend of the postseason. 1 hurdle down. You got regionals next week, and then the best of the best from that. Move on to states down in Upper Marlboro at Showplace Arena. I know you'll be there.
Absolutely.
I'll be there. Rest up until then. I appreciate you hanging in there with us tonight. For Michael Duffy, Pat Stoetzer, thanks a lot for joining us for the CM SportsNet broadcast of the Carroll County Varsity Championships. We'll see you next time.